Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 211. Joining me as always, Daniel Neveroli.
What's up, gamers? It's actually 212.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I said 211 last week? Oh,
yeah, that's what it was.
cool numbers. 212. Excuse me, people. Daniel, we need to talk. Unfortunately, the Nerdic Gods has to reduce their staff by approximately 33.3%.
Oh. Is it you?
And there's no easy way to say this, Daniel. But it's you. It's just, it was between you and Sims and me. And we can't fire me. And Sims is bald and British. So, it's just, we have to do what we got to do here.
It's discrimination against tiny hands people.
Exactly. Yeah. And other countries. And, we beat their ass back in 1776. So I feel like we kind of owe them one,
Owe them a little bit.
Now, Daniel, we can't offer you much of a severance package, but I can give you a couple things that are just on my desk.
Okay.
I could give you half a bottle of the Hot Ones hot sauce, the buffalo hot sauce in particular. There's about half a bottle left.
Okay.
You can have it. It's not that good, if I'm being honest. I have a screwdriver that you can have. I'm going to need it back after like a week or two.
You have something to install?
But
I can bring it back.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need to bring it back. But you can have it for like a week or two. You can have a birthday card that's written out to me for my 29th birthday. But
I can use it for fire, where I'm gonna be homeless.
Yeah, well, yeah, in that cardboard box you're going to be living in. You don't want to burn the box.
Yeah.
So you can use this. There's a pig on it.
Good.
I
can think about food because I'm not eating.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some good material for you. I don't know what you're going to do with all that. And that's about all I'm willing to offer you, if I'm being honest. There's some chapstick over there, but I might need that if you think about it. So you don't want to be selfish.
It's been a good run, I guess.
It's been great, honestly, man. You were easily the best member of Nerdic Gods. but still, being the best comes with a price. You know that.
Yeah, so. when cost comes.
When cost comes, it's like, hey, man, we gotta snip away the good parts. So, sorry, but get the fuck out of here.
Oof. All right. Bye.
God, he's gone, people. Let me tell you guys something. I'm firing Sims too. Okay. Keeping all the money. We're keeping all the money. Fuck the British.
Wow.
Anyways, layoffs are not funny. Very sensitive.
Definitely not.
Shouldn't be making light of this.
So many. There's so many.
There's so many. Does anyone in video games even have a job anymore? I just don't know.
I mean, it's a very select few. It seems we keep talking about this. It really seems we can get into it when we start talking about these first few, but just I guess off the rip, it really just seems like the only one that's not being affected right now is Japan. Yeah, and that's kind of it. Everyone else is.
I was actually reading a Twitter thread about this. I think it was from that Genki guy. The guy on Twitter.
I've heard of him. I don't really know much about him.
There's actually laws like protecting people from getting laid off in Japan.
Labor laws?
Yeah. Like apparently it really has to be the last resort for your company in Japan.
Instead of executives taking pay cuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead of, reasonable things, right? It must be your last resort.
Workers,
you got to go through other shit first before you do this,
Man, what a crazy concept.
Yeah, I mean, crazy, having some, sympathy for fellow humans. It's just...
Jesus.
Wild. Like, wild. Okay, speaking of no sympathy then, Daniel, it has unfortunately been another busy week in the world of video games.
Yeah, is there any good... Do we have good
I don't know if there's a single good thing in here. If I'm being honest, it's just all depressing shit. Seriously, like there's not one. Circana numbers, maybe, or kinda.
It's the Pokemon thing. It's like the only.
Okay,
and that's like whatever.
Yeah, that's so whatever. I forgot that even happened.
There's one more good thing in here. Actually, no. There's a little bit here we'll talk about towards the end.
Everybody, get your tissues out. This will be the most depressing episode of Nerd Gods ever. All right, first up then. PlayStation will lay off a massive number of employees, around 900 people. Studios including Naughty Dog, Insomniac, and Guerrilla Games. Also, PlayStation London studio will be completely closed down, and their fantasy multiplayer game that was unannounced, didn't have a name yet, will no longer release. And lastly, Firesprite, their newly purchased studio, We'll also have some layoffs, and their unannounced reboot Twisted Metal game has now been canceled as well. Daniel, PlayStation on fire. Not in a good way.
Yeah, there's a lot
not,
there to break
not in
down.
a good way. Yeah, a lot there to
Yeah.
break down. I kind of just wrote it all into one thing. I don't know where
No,
you
that's
want to start
perfect.
from
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
this, but
Do you
yeah,
want to start with layoffs or
those
like
are
the
the major takeaways. I guess let's
Yeah,
start with layoffs since
start the broad.
that's right at the top. I mean, crazy just in general because PlayStation already went through layoffs. Already at
We've talked
Naughty
about that
Dog
multiple times.
already
Yeah.
at Naughty Dog and Insomniac. So it's like you're doing it again to those studios in particular. I guess I could somewhat understand it more if it was other studios, but it's like if you're gonna hit another studio again, why wouldn't you just do it all at once when you did it already? When they did it at the end of last year, you know?
I think the only thing I can think of there is, at least with them in particular, was number one was the first round, like a bunch of people from the online team
Mm,
making Last of Us Online, and then was the second team like a bunch of people doing the remastered stuff
mm.
with Last of Us
Just in
Part
Naughty
One
Dog in
remastered,
particular.
and yes,
Well, that's
just in
funny
Naughty
you say
Dog.
that too, because there was the canceled Spider-Man multiplayer game that we found out in the Insomniac leaks at over at
Right.
Insomniac. So
Maybe that's them
maybe that
too.
part of that team was also
'Cause,
laid
like,
off.
if you think about Insomniac, I think Spider-Man 2 has been selling well. I don't know if it's like incredible, but it's like it's selling very, very
We talked
well.
about it like last week or the week before. 10 million copies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10 mil. So like, yeah, very good for being what 5 months on the market. Like that's really good. It's like that's a successful team that keeps pumping out games. Like, why would you affect them at all? But if they staffed up to make a Spider-Man multiplayer game and they're not going to do that now, what are you really going to do with them?
It's funny you mentioned that because I see a lot of people throwing that stuff around, and it's like I just don't think that matters how successful your studio is. I think PlayStation's just
Cancel
looking
games or cancel
they're
games.
looking at all their developers as a whole, right? You know, they said the percentage that they were laying off. That's how they're looking at it. It doesn't really necessarily matter where the employees. I'm sure it matters somewhat where
Yeah.
the employees come from, but you know, they're probably looking at the biggest teams and are like, all right, what can we shave off here? What can we shave off there?
What probably happens is it's studio dependent, right? Like, I don't know if Hiroki Totoki, what is it? Hiroki Totoki Literature Club. I don't know if he's like walking in to like Insomniac and saying fire those people. It's
Right.
probably going to Insomniac saying we need to shrink all of PlayStation. You as a particular studio need to shrink whatever
This much percent.
40 people or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
because that we did a percentage, right? And we're trying to like, all right, you probably Insomniac's probably one of the bigger studios. They got two different studios, right? They could probably shrink them a bit, and then
All
Insomniac,
three of those, right? Gorilla,
yeah,
Insomniac, and Naughty Dog. They're probably three of the bigger ones.
maybe yeah, Santa Monica's probably up there, but that's about it,
Sure.
right? So they probably went to them, and then Insomniac and what's his name, Ted Price was probably like, well, the multiplayer project was probably not. That was probably more of a risk for them. Maybe let's cut it from them. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, and if you remember in the Insomniac league too, he was very protective over the Ratchet team. You know, even though there's not a Ratchet game coming out till like 2029 or whatever the fuck now.
Protect
It's
that North Carolina team, baby,
yeah,
my home
yeah,
team.
yeah, exactly. He was very protective of them because they were like veterans of the studio and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to still take away from the Insomniac league,
Yeah,
just
for
regarding the
sure.
PlayStation layoffs now.
Yeah, I wonder how that affects them. Yeah,
Yeah,
and maybe yeah. I guess we were not going to get a confirmation that it was like the multiplayer team.
right. Yeah,
We'll just
we're
have to
not
see what they put
we would
out.
have to get lucky and get another leak or unlucky,
Yeah.
depending on how you view that. Okay, then PlayStation London being entirely closed down. We also
Interesting.
knew from the Insomniac leaks that PlayStation was looking at fully closing down another studio besides Pixel Opus, which they did, I think, early last year, year before. That was a while ago now.
Maybe 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, we know they were looking at another one, and apparently reports indicate that it was between Media Molecule and
Yeah.
PlayStation London. So
I'm surprised Fire Sprite wasn't. I know that they were recently, but it seems like I don't know.
the thing
There's
about
not a lot there.
Fire Sprite is also a very big team, and I think PlayStation bought them for a lot of support work on a
Yeah.
lot of other games. You know, like they're a gigantic team somewhere in Europe. So I think you can't. I don't think, especially after just acquiring them, I don't think they wanted to get rid of them right away. And I know PlayStation London Studios and Media Molecule are much smaller teams comparatively.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe that's just what they're doing now. Fire Sprite. Like it doesn't seem like they're
Jason
supporting
Schreier
VR, right?
actually well, that's another thing I want to get into with PlayStation London Studio. But Jason Schreier actually said they are working on a unannounced horror game at Firesprite,
Oh,
while also I assume supporting other games. He
the
said
other
it.
devs, yeah.
Yeah, he said it might not be a original IP, so I don't know. Something to keep an eye on there. We'll find
Until
out.
Dawn, maybe
Yeah, could
they
be.
own
Could
that
be.
IP.
Yeah, that's a decent guess there or something
It
like
could
that.
be working on, maybe it's like them and That's No Moon, like doing like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tag team
Tag team
Until
thing,
Dawn
doing
type
that.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think there's something brewing there with Until Dawn, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, just we'll find out in the future. Also, just try to confirm that Guerrilla's multiplayer game that they're supposed to be co-working on with is it the Genshin Impact guys or who is that?
Nihoyo
Something like that.
or NetEase.
NetEase, yeah.
They
What
they
do
own that.
NetEase? They own Genshin Impact and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's the Genshin Impact guys in particular, but
Probably
whatever.
NetEase.
The Horizon MMO multiplayer game is still in development.
Okay, and
That has
is
not
that
been
that's
canceled.
the 4-player co-op thing?
I don't think we know what that is. You know,
Okay.
there's so many rumors that there might be two multiplayer Horizon games going on, or it might just be the MMO one. I don't know. They
Wasn't there one that was a Monster Hunter like 4 people?
Yeah, I do remember people talking about that. But do you remember the one that leaked a little? There was like really early alpha
The
footage of it, and
cartoonish
the
one?
cartoony looking one. I think that's the one Jason Schreier in particular is talking about.
Okay, that
So
makes sense with that with NetEase
yeah,
and yeah, their stuff.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if they like, man, that's too much Horizon. Me and you are both Horizon fans. You a little bit more than me. I love the first one. The second one I do really like a lot. And maybe I kind of was like a little too negative on it, even though I really like the second one too. But like we're just getting too much. It's too much. It's too much. We're getting a show. We're getting where's that remastered that we're probably going to get of the first
remaster
game?
remake. Yeah, no,
The
I
remake,
agree,
yeah.
but like also they haven't announced any of these things. I don't know.
True.
I'm holding off
The
like
other than the
complete
show.
judgment of that
Yeah,
until they actually come out and announce me these things. You know, it's like
very
we
true.
got very heavy rumors that remake remaster is real of the first one. So we'll see. We're getting rumors of 2 multiplayer games and a
A
third Horizon
show.
games and a show. So it's just like I don't know. Let's you guys announce them and let's see what's actually real and what's not
Do we
before.
want that much Aloy?
No,
Do we?
I certainly don't, and I don't want the fucking show, Daniel. Did you watch the Avatar show? Oh my god! Lucky I didn't
No,
bring this up. Don't
don't. No.
don't do it, bro.
You
Don't
know
do
how
it.
much I like Zuko. Don't.
Just don't do it. It's
No,
so bad.
you're hurting
It's
my
so
heart.
bad. I hate it, dude.
Oh,
I
no.
got 2 episodes in. I'm like, I fucking hate these kids.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question, and I actually don't want the answer, but you could tell me. Is Zuko cool?
He's somewhat cool. Him and
Okay.
Sokka are like decent, you know.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It's a lot of the acting. The kids acting, and it's always hard with kids. I understand.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's
tough to get good kid
definitely it's
actors.
very tough. And like I don't want to shit on the guy too much, but the guy playing Aang, the kid playing Aang, is just it takes me out of it every time he
Because
talks.
he needs to be the best one because he's
Exactly
the main character.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and he's definitely by far the worst one. And it's like
Mm.
I tend not to notice bad acting too much. I feel like like compared to a lot of people, I feel. And if I'm noticing it, just in
It's
the first
bad.
2 episodes, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Rough.
So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Horizon Netflix show at all.
And maybe they could just make it a drama, like a political drama.
I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. Netflix just refuses to put budget. We're getting way off topic here, but they just refuse to put money into shit. You know, it's like even
Because
that
they're losing a lot. They're
the
losing
Avatar
so
show,
much.
it just doesn't look good at some points either. You know, and you could tell they do the thing where they make it really dark when there's like a fight scene going on. You know, like it's night out, and they make it really
Yeah.
dark so they can like blend in the special effects and shit more. And it's just we're gonna miss there.
Oof.
Okay, so let's get back to it. PlayStation. Okay, so yeah, PlayStation London studio being completely closed down. Yeah, this is
Crazy.
I,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
dude, especially if you're a VR fan. If you're one of those, I feel for you if you were one of those people that bought a VR2 just specifically for the hope that more games will be coming to it, right? And PlayStation London Studios was one of the few studios, first-party studios within PlayStation that was actually making VR games and good VR games. From what I heard, that Blood and Truth game.
Firesprite.
Yeah, Firesprite as well. I mean, I don't know that the Horizon game wasn't like super well received. I guess it was good, right? I don't want
It's
to.
a first party game though.
Sure,
Like there's
right.
not many of those.
Yeah, but like, who knows if Firesprite? According to Jason Schreier, Firesprite's making a horror game now. That probably
Sure.
isn't a. Maybe it is a VR game. Who knows? I hope for the sake of the people that bought a VR headset, right? Like, I feel like PlayStation just put that out there and doesn't make anything on the first party side for it. And I get it. They don't have, there's only so many teams to go around, and you need a lot of them to just make straight up big AAA PS5 games. But at least a couple of them should have been put on making something VR. You know, like what did you guys bought Insomniac and all that just for nothing?
They were doing VR games.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Insomniac was built to not built, but they've made VR games in the past, and I'm sure there's people there that are passionate about working on VR games. It's just there should be a team there. I wish in the Insomniac leaks it said there was a team there making some sort of game for VR, whether that's a Spider-Man game or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that is a broader topic that we can maybe talk about more. And we've talked about before, like all these companies to need to scale back, scale their budget, scale their scope just a little bit, and with that, maybe they can have smaller teams doing smaller things. Do like Obsidian. Obsidian seems to be one of the few big studios that can like split up, and we're going to do a bunch of different stuff
Hmm.
and be very successful at that.
I would say
Insomniac's one
Insomniac
of them.
too, but the thing is with them now is that their smaller stuff is just more Marvel things.
Yeah, and
Uh,
maybe they just don't have the freedom now because of the Marvel stuff.
Exactly. It's like they're making the Venom game, which is their
They're owned
smaller
by
stuff, right?
PlayStation. Yeah,
Right.
they're like make Marvel stuff.
Yeah. And it's like I understand that from a money perspective, but also, I mean, we'll talk about it later with the EA thing. It's like they pay a lot of money in licensing fees for these Marvel things too. So it's like they probably don't make as much money as we all think they make. So
Oh, I think that's for sure.
yeah.
Spider-Man 2 like being what $250 million to make on top
Well,
of
we
like
know Spider-Man 2 needed to sell 6 million to break even. So
yeah.
I mean,
And I wonder if
it's
that's counting like development and the like licensing cost,
yeah,
you
that's a good
know?
question, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they give a huge percentage of the cut that they make off selling the bundle of Spider-Man 2 with PlayStation 5. They give a huge cut of that to Disney. So yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. I think
True.
PlayStation's making way more off God of War Ragnarok than they are Spider-Man 2, even if they sell the same number.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cuz it's them. It's their cost. They don't have there's no licensing fee there.
Yeah. So back to London. They were making a fantasy online multiplayer game, some sort of live service thing. We got concept art of it a while ago now, so that'll never see the light of day. Great, it's
Oh
this live
no.
service thing working out real well for you guys, huh?
Doing great for PlayStation right
Doing
now.
great job, Ryan. You
Oh
fucking
boy.
you knocked that one out of the park. You know? He was the only one playing that fucking fantasy game.
That's what he was playing.
That's what he was playing. Yeah, he was having a great time too. It was excellent. Which is funny to me because that seemed like it was gonna be a smaller scale multiplayer game. If I had to guess, I don't think that was getting like a big AAA budget type of thing, like a Helldivers 2, which is succeeding very well right now. And it's like, maybe you guys should have kept that one going because it seems to be the smaller scale live service games are working out better than the bigger scale, especially like currently where we are right now. You look at Pal World and Helldivers 2, right? Smaller scale, sure, not a ton of money went into either of those things, at least comparatively.
Helldivers took a while to make though.
It did, yeah.
So
I'm not
yeah.
saying it didn't take a lot of money, but like
Yeah.
comparatively, when you
I
look
know
at
exactly what you mean.
look at the games failing in the live service space right now, Justice League, the Suicide Squad game should have been Justice League game, but the
Yeah.
Suicide Squad game and Skull and Bones, right? Which are two games that I'm sure cost
Oh, you
way
mean the
more than
quadruple
either of
A
those.
game Skull and Bones?
Exactly, exactly. You look at both of those titles right now, crashed and burned. Didn't find anywhere near the audience that Helldivers 2 and Power World did, right? So it's just
Yeah, it's
funny to
definitely
kind of look at
scoping.
those two sides of the coin there, where it's like these guys spent way less money to make this game than you guys did on the big AAA ones, and they're succeeding way more.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like scope. Like the longer you take, the longer you take to make it, and the more expensive you take to make it, the more you need to make to
Yeah.
like, make money. So it's like if you I guess this comes to any video game. If you make something that people want at a relatively quicker pace and that you didn't spend that much on, I mean, you're just going to be making money. So
Hmm.
like have that thought process. Don't say we're going to take 7 years to make a live service game when people are losing their lives they're shutting their live service down games down left and right. It's like people barely have the time to play those games right now. Like not all of them are sinking. Not all of them are floating. Most of them are sinking right now. Even the most successful ones are. like teetering like Destiny, you know?
Yeah. No, and that I mean that's one argument I see going around a lot is that PlayStation isn't looking for a small scale success like Helldivers 2. They're looking for like Fortnite and stuff like that. They're looking for that
Passive
type of thing.
income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I get that. It is so impossibly hard to predict a game would get to that level, you know? It is just like good luck. You could have the most money, the most talented developers and all that put into a live service game, it still might not gain that audience, you know. It's just that just seems like such a tall mountain to climb, you know. It's like I think you're much better off with these smaller scale multiplayer games if you want to try to get passive income that way than you
Yeah,
are trying to make a Fortnite.
just make a game
Also
that
there already is a Fortnite, you know. It's like I don't see those
are
kids
you ripping these
jumping
kids
off that.
off?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna rip these kids off and go play Last of Us Online? I doubt it.
doubt it, you know. It's very unlikely.
Yeah, like that's just not. I don't think that's like. I think these executives just see what they could have and they want that. But like, think about what you could be making and not like try to make something else, right?
Like
Like,
they want that so bad, but that time might have already come and gone, you know, to
yeah,
be
think of
able to
something
get into
new.
that. Yeah.
Like, even like the smaller experiences, like a Helldivers 2. Like, yeah, that game's gonna have like some updates and kind of be live servicey, and you can kind of categorize it as a bit, but it is just kind of a co-op multiplayer game.
Right.
And I think more games need to be that first. And then if you want to have like some free updates or maybe like a paid DLC or something, you know, maybe a few skins, some sort of microtransactions like that, you could do that and have like that type of live service stuff. But you don't need to be a constant, ever changing map or whatever your game is. You don't need that. Not every game needs to be that.
Hmm.
People don't. There are way too many video games. Way too many video games. People do not have the time for that.
And that's something I hope PlayStation is realizing, and it seems to be something they're realizing, is that they I mean Naughty Dog said it in the letter when they put out that they were canceling the Last of Us multiplayer game officially, is that they would have had to change the entire structure of their studio if they were going to go through the Last of Us multiplayer game. There wouldn't have been being made single player games on the side of that, you know what I mean? They would have had to become a Last of Us multiplayer studio. And that's entirely what's going to happen if you try to make these traditionally single player focused teams make multiplayer games.
Yeah, you have to like start up a second branch of them
Right.
and their multiplayer.
Right. You
It's
you would
like,
almost need an entirely separate dev team at that point. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like Gorilla's multiplayer side. That's all they're
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah.
And then the regular single player stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just not going to work that way, you know, for PlayStation. And I hope that's what they're realizing now is that it's just not going to happen. That you're better off keeping your Firewalks making Concord, who seems like a team that was built to make a multiplayer game, and the guys, what are they called, Haven, that's making fair games. You're better off just letting them focus on the live service multiplayer games because they're built for that.
See what it turns out first.
Yeah.
And then if you want to make more, make more. You know, like don't say we're gonna make 10 and then you're starting to cancel all these, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then the last piece of news that was in here, Fire Sprite as well is getting layoffs, and their unannounced Twisted Metal game is now canceled. Daniel, what about the synergy with Anthony Mackie? What happened?
Season 2.
Season 2, what's going on? They
What
announced
about
the
Lucid
Game Awards.
Games?
What about where's Lucid in all this? How do they fit
Yeah.
in here? You know,
Lucid is probably looking at like, yeah, you can't, you took it from us, huh? And then look what they did. Nothing.
As much as I'm not looking forward to all the live service multiplayer games that at least PlayStation was planning at one point, this was the one that kind of at least made sense to me. Is a multiplayer Twisted Metal game. You know, it's like
Sure.
that's kind of what that franchise was kind of built for, and I could see that working in some way. You know,
Add new like drivers and
yeah,
cars.
all that
Yeah.
stuff, you know, skins for cars and shit like that. Like you could see that working. It's not like, you know, what are you gonna give the fucking Sweet Tooth a kid? He gonna ride around in a car,
Oh
you know?
my God, the dad simulator.
Yeah,
Sweet
Dad
Tooth.
Simulator. You know, it's like you were never gonna do that with Twisted Metal, anyways. And it was kind of just the one franchise that PlayStation seemed interested in reviving in some way. You know, there's a ton that people are always complaining about. You know, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, Killzone, Resistance, stuff like that. That people would love to see come back, but at least they were somewhat interested in bringing Twisted Metal back, and clearly with the show they had interest there. So yeah, I kind of feel for Twisted Metal fans. I've never put too much time into one myself, but yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I wonder if if this IP is just not for this world, or like, are we still going to actually see it? Like, I think it's a cool IP. I don't think it's necessary for them to bring it back, right?
I
There's at
don't.
least some
It's
interest.
definitely one of those things where it's not as big as you would be led to believe it is in the hardcore video game space. You know, it's like
For
I don't.
sure.
Twisted Metal ain't coming out here and selling like 10 million copies. You know.
No, it's definitely like from a time and place. I
Yeah.
think Sweet Tooth in like his van or whatever, it's pretty iconic design and look, right? That clown look. And but yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see this like IP like have the light of day in as a video game. Like, I wonder like how much interest there is like from the new show with gamers. I don't know. Like, that is a different audience, you know? So I don't know. I think PlayStation should try to do more racing stuff. Like, I know Xbox has kind of two different styles of racing games. They have like the more sporty, like traditional racing game with motorsport, and then Forza Horizon, they have more arcadey. So there's at least two different options there. PlayStation really only has Gran Turismo. They kind of have that more traditional, regular like motorsport type.
That's an
Maybe they
interesting
need
thought to make Twisted Metal the more arcadey side
arcadey racer.
of
Yeah,
that. Yeah, because I mean, Twisted Metal isn't a racer really. Traditionally, you know, it's more of like a combat car thing. I don't know what the fuck's going
yeah.
on there really, but
Maybe more open
that
worldy,
yeah, that would be
like a
cool. Yeah,
Horizon-y
yeah, I like
type
that.
thing.
Yeah, I think if they really want to keep it going, look for a second party relationship with someone. You know, maybe find a smaller AAA team out there that's would be interested in working on it. You know, and hire them, get them to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like third party like
That would
racers,
be interested. Yeah,
because
yeah, I
like
really don't
EA
know.
has a bunch, but they're all like EA's gonna have them make F1,
Yeah, a
Need
lot
for
of them are
Speed, right?
purchased and under people already. Yeah,
I mean Ubisoft has the Crew.
make a new team. Let's make jobs instead. How about that?
What? That was for the
You
people you
know,
fired. Hire them. Oh my god.
that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? All right. PlayStation, you're still dead. PlayStation, you're still dead to me. So whatever, it doesn't even
Nintendo,
matter.
you're
Doesn't
next,
even matter.
buddy.
It doesn't even matter. We didn't kill Nintendo yet. All right. Well,
Oh no,
we're
they're
coming
the
for
only
you,
ones left.
Nintendo. All right, did it? Let's just get all the layoffs out the way then.
All right, hit me with it.
Here we go. Let's do the second biggest one then. EA is laying off around 670 employees and will be shutting down Ridgeline Games entirely. Some of these employees will be moved to Ripple Effect to help work on the next Battlefield game. The company also says they will be moving away from licensed games to focus on their own IP in the future. Daniel, here you go. They hit us with this one the day after the PlayStation 1.
Oh my god, yeah.
Rough.
I do want to say, kind of like adding to the story a bit, right before, like, I think the same day as PlayStation stuff, it was like coming out that Marcus Lito was leaving the studio,
Yep.
Ridgeline. So like that was like the start of before they actually, I guess,
Who's
it just closed.
Halo guy, right?
He was, I think, he's had a bunch of different roles at a bunch of different studios, but I think he had something to do with like the art side of Halo.
Okay.
Kind of like, I don't know if he was like a lead artist or something. I think he was like somewhere in there, like head artist or something like that. But yeah, he old Halo guy, been around for a long time. He had like done his own studio. We covered his game that he did a few years ago. I think it was in 2021, called Disintegration. Do you remember that one? It was kind of like a
No.
weird MOBA type thing.
Okay.
Um, it didn't really do well, and I guess he went to go to EA and um, have that new studio be the director of that new studio, new Battlefield game. But that really sucks. I guess I hope that most of, I know they said some are going to go to Ripple Effect.
Yeah.
With Vince Zampella over there. I would hope that most do, and not just
Right.
some. You know, like Battlefield, it's a big game. Maybe they can use all of them. I don't know. I don't know what Vince is really doing over there. We haven't really heard. We just know that he's like taken over Battlefield.
So we do have a little bit of news with the Battlefield. Let me
Do
just
we? Okay.
tie this one in here. The next Battlefield game will also have a separate free to play battle royale mode. That is
Well, hire all those guys. Let them do that.
that is it. Yeah, let them do that. Yeah, because you're gonna need a separate studio to run that. I mean, clearly big COD inspiration there, right? With Call of Duty Warzone and stuff like that.
Who's running Battlefield?
Vincent Bella.
Boom, makes sense.
Yeah. Wow.
I know that he didn't really
All
have anything
comes
to do with
together.
like the battle royale, but like look at Vince. Vince was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go leave Call of Duty. I'm gonna go do my own game. He did Titanfall, and then
God, I
EA,
wish all this was happening with Titanfall.
dude, come on,
Please. Why
come
does it gotta
on.
be Battlefield? It's not that
It's
I
because
dislike Battlefield all that much, but I actually
Battlefield's a
think a
great
battle
series.
royale mode in Battlefield could be quite fun.
Fits.
That does
Yeah.
fit very
All
well.
that
Yeah, that makes a
destruction
lot
would
of
be
sense.
cool.
Yeah, it's like they almost were a battle royale beforehand, you know, before that became a thing, you know. So yeah, I do feel like that genre fits very well over there. But yeah, okay, so Ripple Effect making the next Battlefield game. They're gonna need some sort of other team to make the
Well,
separate
there's
free to play
another
battle
team
royale
too.
more.
There's like
Yeah,
another Dice team that's making Battlefield,
well,
right? The
isn't
main
I
Dice
mean,
team.
so Ripple Effect became Dice or Dice LA became Ripple Effect,
Yes,
right?
and then
Okay,
there's like a Dice in Europe that's the main Dice team.
gotcha. Okay,
I don't know
so
exactly
I
what.
suppose between the two of them, they're gonna get this all out there.
Yeah, if I were to guess, this is going to be more of a side Battlefield game. This isn't going to be like whatever. It's
The
going to be
separate
it's going to
free
be
to play
looked.
battle royale you're talking about.
No. Just whatever Vince is doing with Ripple Effect.
Oh, okay,
I don't
interesting.
think this is like the main like Battlefield 6. I think Battlefield 6
Really?
is over there. But it's going to be
Oh, okay.
Battlefield kind of like how this last one wasn't Battlefield 6. It was
Yeah.
like it was still the main team doing it, but like I think it's going to be like that. They're just going to have a subtitle.
Hmm,
Like Battlefield Hardline or whatever, right? It's going to be like that.
okay.
And I think Battlefield 6 is going to be whatever that other Europe team's doing.
Interesting.
If I were to guess.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't think of that too deeply. Yeah.
They got to keep up with
Maybe you're onto
COD, right?
something there. Right.
Got two
Yeah.
different
Gotta
devs
keep
kind
putting
of
out,
yeah.
turning out Battlefield games every year. Yeah. I hope there's a big. I mean, just selfishly, I hope there's a big single player component there.
I with
Some
Vince, there's
sort.
got to be.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think there's going to be.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, so then getting back to the layoffs, yeah, 670 employees throughout all of EA. So very unfortunate again. Hopefully, these people can land on their feet.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the respawn stuff.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
sure. So Respawn also laying off some employees, and like I said at the end of that paragraph, the company also says that they are moving away from licensed games to focus on their own IP. And with that said, they have canceled the first-person Star Wars game that was being worked on over at Respawn, rumored to be some sort of Mandalorian game. So has now officially been canceled. There was some news that came out of that, I believe, from Jeff Grubb.
Within this like last week.
Yeah, it was like a week or two ago only that that game was nearing a point to where they could officially reveal it and that it would be out within the next year or two. Fuck me. Guess it won't.
Yeah, you remember that
So it won't.
announcement of the three Star Wars games from Respawn? It was the strategy one, first
Yeah.
person shooter, and what was the third one?
I remember the strategy.
Yeah, it was like an XCOM is what I was thinking, and then there's
Was
like a
it?
first person
Okay.
shooter. I think first person shooter. And there was something else. They were doing 3 games.
Was
Oh,
it not another
it?
Jedi game?
Oh, was it? Yeah, was it the third Jedi game?
Maybe it was the third Jedi
Yeah.
game, yeah. Which Jason Schreier did confirm is still in development.
Yeah,
Is
it doesn't
the
have
third
Stig.
Jedi game. Doesn't have Stig, yeah, which is a
I
big,
don't like that.
yeah. I'm still very curious to see where he goes. If he,
Yeah,
I
there's
wonder if
no
he,
news on that.
yeah, I wonder if he takes a break for a while. You know, you kind of you see that often where they won't join another development team for like a few years even.
Yeah,
So
pick Stig up.
yeah, someone gets Stig. I mean, man, if you're trying to make a good third-person action game, it's like, you know, on PlayStation, I'm getting that guy back if I could, or Xbox or someone, you know. But yeah. So first-person Mandalorian game. Cries in Titanfall again, Daniel. It's like, oh man. At least there was a glimmer of hope for Titanfall fans with this game because it was just like, oh, this will just be Titanfall and Star Wars. Great. Sounds fucking awesome. And now we don't even get that. Daniel. And Respawn is so fucking good at making first-person shooters. They're so fucking good at it.
What is
heartbreaking.
happening?
It's heartbreaking.
I don't
So
understand.
this kind of ties back into the PlayStation Insomniac thing with how much they pay in fees for these licensed games to Disney. Is maybe EA is trying to get away with that. But if you remember, Daniel, EA is still currently working, and Jason Schreier confirmed this as well. EA is still, or maybe it wasn't Schreier, it was someone else. Someone else reported that they are still working on the Iron Man game being made by Motive. They opened a new studio over at, I believe it's called Cliffside Games, Cliffhanger Games, something like that.
Cliffhanger
That is
sounds right.
yeah, that is making the Black Panther game. There's a
Yeah,
big
the Black
big
Panther
name
game.
director there. That I believe the guy that made Shadow of War is over there. Shadow of Mordor maybe too.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
believe he's directing the Black Panther game over there. So those are still in development, and there was an unannounced third one, and it's unclear on the status of that now. So either that's getting canceled, and we still never got we're never told what studio is making the unannounced third game or what IP it is or anything like that. So maybe that's canceled, maybe it's still going. We don't know.
Yeah. These licensed games, man. I don't know. That's
So
just
I
I don't.
wonder if this completely writes off the possibility if the Iron Man game and Black Panther game do come out, the possibility of sequels for those. I wonder if EA is just like, we'll
Ooh.
get these out, but we're not doing sequels.
Maybe if they sell super well.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's how much they sell.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna have to sell super well, especially at this point.
Yeah, because what's weird is like, and I think a lot of this might have to do with EA not giving the Jedi games the time that they should have had. There was a bunch of problems with both Jedi games when they came out at launch of just being buggy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Where they needed more time in the fridge. They should have had not in the fridge, in the oven.
in the oven,
in the fridge. Yeah,
cooking my
keep
meat in the fridge.
Yeah, it's a cold sandwich. You'll be fine. But with the Jedi games, because the Jedi games do not sell as well as Spider-Man did. If you notice, they're not 10 million copies, and it's like, I wonder if that's part of it. I wonder if EA was just expecting that. It's like, and not that they didn't sell well. I know Jedi Survivor was in the top 10. It might have even been in the top 5 last year. So
It was up there for sure.
yeah, it was definitely way up there. So it's not that they don't sell extremely well, but maybe it's not well enough for EA to make up for those licensing fees and stuff.
Do we know the budget of those games?
No, I'm guessing pretty fucking high. I mean,
Yeah,
Jedi Survivor,
especially
was
Survivor.
a pretty, yeah. There's some stuff in that game where it was like, yeah, this costs some money.
Yeah, I think especially Survivor for sure. So yeah, I'd wonder what the budget is. I will say Respawn's pretty lean and quick.
Definitely.
Generally, I think those games needed a little more time for polishing, but like I still think they work pretty quickly. So especially compared to other AAA
Both of
studios.
them just needed another 6 months, literally.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so funny because it was the same thing with the first Jedi game. Is like 6 months later, right around that time, would have been perfect. It's like they could have put Jedi out in November and it would have been fine. I mean, I know you're up against like Spider-Man and whatever else came out last fall, but
I think it was it fiscal year stuff.
But yeah, exactly. But you're Star Wars. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're coming out right around Christmas. You're gonna fucking sell. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't really matter. You're Star
Christmas
Wars.
is Star Wars. Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
Always
It's just
hand in hand.
Yeah, it's just so I don't know. EA needs to learn that they need to give these studios more time.
Yeah,
But instead, they're just gonna fire all their employees. Daniel.
Oh, your game didn't do great. Bye.
Yeah.
We didn't like set you up for success, but bye.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Anything else you gotta say on this the whole EA thing?
I don't know. It's just like, who's the next one? Ubisoft?
Has Ubisoft?
Like, did
they have any already?
Yeah, should I check news stories? Is Ubisoft? I mean, not massive ones yet, like that.
That's coming. That's definitely coming. Yeah, you're
Especially after
you're
Skull and
100%
Bones?
right on that. Yeah.
So I said next week. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be calling a Babe Ruth shot about more layoffs, but I am.
Point your shot there, Daniel.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be within the next 2 weeks.
Next week's headline will be Ubisoft massive layoffs.
100%. Guarantee you, it's like 1,000 people too.
It's gonna be
I
rough.
guarantee you.
That's millions, not millions, thousands of people just across the world too.
Yeah, because they're
Ubisoft,
worldly.
there's so many.
That's the one thing I actually really like about Ubisoft is how worldly they are. And it's really cool to see, like, all their studios if they were to keep them all.
All right, well, let's get through the other layoffs at some smaller studios that have happened. Supermassive Games, the makers of The Quarry and Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures games, they will be laying off around 90 employees.
Do we know like what percentage or like how big they are?
Let me click in here. No, just says 90 people.
Okay.
Yeah, not entirely sure there. I'm assuming that's, I don't know. You got to figure they're somewhat big. I would say that's at least 25% of them, if I had to guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like, do we know what they're working on even next? Like, we
So
didn't
they
do all the
have
Dark
that.
Picture stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have the space one is supposed to be
Yeah,
next for
that's
the
right.
Dark Pictures. So
Is that this year probably?
that, and then
They
there
skipped a year.
was the guy that directed the Quarry, and I believe he directed Until Dawn as well. Said that he is making another one that will take about 4 years to make. So another big AAA one, or
Like
a bigger scale
2026?
one. Yeah, something, a spiritual successor to the Quarry and Until Dawn and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, one of
Is that
those.
4 years from finishing the quarries?
Um, yeah, it was a while ago when he said that. So yeah, I would say probably 4 or 5 years from whenever the Quarry came out. What year was that? Was that 21 or 22? Two, I
2022.
guess. Yeah, so
Yeah, it wasn't last year, so
26,
2022.
27. Yeah, if I had to guess there.
Okay.
I mean, hey, fingers crossed it's the Scream game. That's what I want.
That'd be cool.
Do the Scream game. God, I would.
Can I play as what's his name? Jamie Kennedy?
Fuck yeah, you can.
Can I
Fuck
be
yeah.
Randy?
that's that's all I want. But okay, Supermassive.
That sucks. Yeah, I
I know.
wonder like if is that the Dark Pictures? Like I wonder are those selling, you know? Like is it the Corey sell? Like
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Well, what's interesting is Bandai Namco is not in a good place, and they publish the Dark Pictures games.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wonder what exactly is going
They're
on there.
Western, so maybe they can get away with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Sadly.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Something to definitely keep an eye on there is Bandai Namco as well. I mean, let's just get into the other layoffs then. Let's see. I know there was another bigger one. Here you go.
Yeah, for us.
Yep. This one's really unfortunate too. Makers of Life is Strange True Colors Deck 9 is laying off about 20% of its staff. Oof, Daniel.
Come on.
It's just, we just keep going here, man. It's just, yeah, this sucks too. I know. Man, these are two that me and you really love. It's
I know.
Supermassive and Deck
Like
9.
Supermassive doesn't even make like super high quality. I just love playing cheesy horror games.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
I mean, two similar styles of games too,
mhm.
right? That they make. It's just like, ah, man, it's really rough to see that those games aren't doing super
Everyone
well,
go out
man.
and buy Life is Strange True Colors, please.
Yeah, and just support
That
these
game is
games
so
more. Like,
good.
dude, these games are fun. Like, I don't know. I get the whole walking simulator movie thing isn't like that appealing to everyone, but like, man, they're a good time. They're great stories if you just give it a chance. So
True Colors is so good.
really was, man. I
It's
really hope
so
they're making another
good.
Life is Strange
I
game. It's already
know.
been
Come
too
on.
long since we had our
Yeah, when
last
was
Life is Strange
that?
game. That was the end of 2021, so it's like September 2021. So yeah, sucks, man. All right. So yeah, bunch of layoffs. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, what do you do at this point? You know, it's
What
like,
are we doing here?
it's funny because, like, you know, I'm kind of funny. They were throwing around a bunch of different. Like, I think their chat was just throwing around a bunch of different ideas, and it's just, you know, especially on the PlayStation side. Like, what if PlayStation does go fully multi-platform and put games on Xbox? What if they raise the price to games and start charging 80 now? What if they I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of different stuff they could do, right? What if The Last of Us Part 3 is only 8 hours long? You know, it's like
I hope it is.
yeah, it's like you could still do all of those things, right? Particularly on the PlayStation side, you could do all of those things, and I think there's still just going to be layoffs. I think the executives are still going to look, and then they're still going to just be like, okay, where can we shave off people here? Where can we make some extra money here? Even if they did all
Yeah.
of that, you know?
I think the pandemic was wild, and I don't think people really realize how much these studios staffed up.
We'll
They
get
thought
into something in a second, but did you listen to the Jonathan Blow interview on Sacred Symbols at all?
I don't have the Patreon, so I have to wait for
Oh,
the
okay.
live version
Okay. Yeah.
or
Definitely
the
listen to that when it goes
free
up. I
version.
mean, he has some
Yeah.
very interesting thoughts on all this and budget and all that. And
Was I kind of right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is that kind of what he's
100%.
saying?
I mean, yeah, he was 100% talking about just how budgets are just exploding and stuff like that. I mean, he was saying just a lot of stuff that like a lot of people wouldn't be happy to hear is that, you know, a lot of employees just not actually doing much, you know, to further development and stuff like that. And like, you know, there's a lot of stuff there that, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear, but he's probably right on a lot of different angles
At
there.
least maybe something to bring up and talk about,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
Even if he's a little biased, maybe on his own
yeah,
side.
yeah. And I'm not
I
even
don't
saying
know.
he's like 100% right or I agree with
Yeah,
his opinion entirely, but it is he did just throw out a lot of interesting ideas and a lot of different perspective that I didn't think about in that interview on Sacred Symbols. So yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't think there is an answer here. I think layoffs are, especially right now, like layoffs are gonna happen no matter what. It's just unless you can convince these executives otherwise.
the year's not done.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh, we're just getting started here.
yeah. I mean, technically still in February. Like we're about to hit March tomorrow, so yeah, how many layoffs that we already have, right? We're almost to the point where we were last year
Yeah,
already. Like it's not going to stop
yeah,
right now. That's just it's the sad truth of it.
definitely. And especially right now because the physical year is about to end. There's only another month there. I
Yeah,
think that's a big reason why you're seeing a lot of it right now. You know.
yeah. They're trying to cut costs for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, cool. Let's get into the Toys for Bob stuff then.
Okay,
Kind of jumping
yeah, it's
all
an interesting
over the
story for
place
us. Yeah.
here. Yeah, and then we can go into the Gearbox because it's somewhat similar.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a two-parter there with the Gearbox one.
cool. Okay, so Toys for Bob is going independent after 19 years on their Activision. They are currently exploring a partnership with Microsoft, though. So Daniel, this just came out before we started recording.
Hmm.
Toys for Bob recently purchased by Microsoft through the Activision Blizzard deal.
Write off a few.
Yeah, laid off a few makers of Crash 4, Spyro
Come
Reignited Trilogy. Come
on.
on now. Come on
Crash
now.
4?
These guys throw
Give me
out
Crash
banners.
5. Come on.
So yeah, it seems they are going independent, which I don't know. I don't know what comes to your mind first, because I guess for me, good thing they at least didn't get fully closed down, right? But this is odd for
Sure.
me because they got hit with layoffs really hard just a few weeks ago from the whole Activision Blizzard deal and Microsoft and stuff. So I don't. It seems odd to me that hey, we're gonna fire 80 of you, and now you guys go independent, and now you guys are smaller and being independent. So I don't know what comes to mind for you.
Yeah, this one is a very interesting one because if I'm looking at the Xbox perspective, they're probably they should not have let them go. If I'm like looking at my portfolio and what developers I have and what games we could be making, and the games that they've talked about making, like Toys for Bob's perfect at making those, right? Like they make kid-friendly family games. Like try not to let them go, but then they're probably like, if they don't really want to stay and somehow they could break free, maybe it's best healthy for the studio to actually do that. So I guess it's kind of cool that they can do that and not just be shut down, right? Like
Right.
I think that's a good thing that at least Xbox is probably like, okay, well, I guess maybe we'll still work with you. So maybe like whatever game they're doing next, Crash 5 or Spyro 4, which would be very cool. Or whatever they're doing, new IP or using an Xbox IP, I don't know. But if they're still going to work with them, that's pretty cool. Like hopefully they still find a job that way and find publishing that way, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, I know me and you were theorizing a little bit before the shows. I gotta imagine they're partially a way through making whether it is a Spyro Crash game. They're at least
In almost 3
partway
years.
into development on that. Well, they also put out Crash
Or
Rumble.
no, almost 4 years.
They also put out
Oh
Crash
yeah.
Rumble, which crashed and burned.
Oof.
Um, but yeah. So I gotta imagine they're partway through. Hopefully, it is a Spyro 4. I know they've been hinting at Spyro for the last year just through their Twitter account and stuff. So hopefully, it is a Spyro 4, and maybe they are. Fingers crossed, they're partially through that, and they just need to develop a partnership with Microsoft, and they can just make that through a second party lens.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or what's the chances of it just being a third party game? Especially at this point.
Oh, and just going everywhere. But would
Mhm.
Microsoft would still have to publish it, right?
It's technically their IP.
Is that still technically second party then, right? Even if they was to go on PlayStation, I think
That's a good question how that would work. Just for technicality, right? Like
yeah,
you would think it'd be still considered third party just
yeah.
because of the fact of like, yeah, they're licensing the IP and Microsoft is publishing, but it's not an exclusive. So I would
I
still
also
think it'd
hate
be
how everyone's trying to sunset the term second party. It's like
get out of
why
here.
yeah, get out of here. Like I don't
I
like
like
that.
that term.
Yeah, I do too. Like it makes sense to me. Get
Yeah.
out of here. I like second party.
I'm gonna keep using it.
Yeah.
So I think technically it'd be third party, but you got to look at the new lens that Xbox is going to be under, right? Like
Sure.
it's the
Third
future that
party,
they're
but
looking
Microsoft owns the IP. Yeah, okay. What this does tell me, unfortunately, is Xbox doesn't really have an interest in making Crash and Spyro games. Maybe through the second party lens they kind of do, but
might,
in terms
but
on their
for them-
first party side, it doesn't seem like that. What could have happened here is they were like, you guys could stay under Microsoft, but you're the COD support studio still.
maybe that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and I could see Toys for Bob not really being down for that. Like, hey, we don't want to be
Yeah,
COD guys permanently.
maybe it's not even like an Xbox thing. Maybe it's just an Activision thing.
Sure.
Activision won't let them do it, right? Maybe it's just
And I mean,
that
maybe they can't, to be fair, to Microsoft's ends. I mean, you got to keep that COD machine turning, but it's just like,
yeah.
I think we all hoped that Microsoft would be willing to. It sounds weird to say revive, considering Crash and Spyro have gotten recent entries, but revive these IP, your Tony Hawk's, your Crash, your Spyros. I don't think there's a chance in hell you're getting anything below that. Like, people throwing out like Singularity and Prototype and shit.
Not yet.
I don't think there's a chance in hell you're getting any of that. Maybe through a second party lens, like we were just saying, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting that from Xbox first party, at least not through an Activision Blizzard team.
I think you actually hit the nail on the head. I think that the only way we were going to get Crash or Spyro is for something drastic to kind of happen. Whether that was like Phil kind of ripping them away from COD himself, right? And just like, all right, you're not working on COD officially. And then, they can go do their thing. Or it's this. They completely split because Activision just needs that machine working.
Yeah.
So they don't want to do it. So what are they going to do? They're not going to lay that studio off like completely, I guess. So they're going to go and just get independent. Now they can work on Crash and Spyro because they are separate.
Yeah.
So maybe you just hit the nail on the head.
Let's hope, right? Like, I mean, shit, man. I want new Crash and Spyro games. Like, I think that should be a priority over.
Where's Crash 5? Come on.
Give me. Oh man, and Tony Hawk. Don't even get me started on Tony
Yeah,
Hawk. Man.
well, we need Vicarious Visions back.
Oh
Come on now.
God, it's just such a shame what is happening.
Rename, cut Blizzard
Breaking
Albany.
my heart.
Get rid of that name. Give them Vicarious
Go
Visions
back to
back.
Vicarious Visions, man. Put out Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater
That's all we
6.
want. I'll take that too, but I mean, we all want 3+4. That's.
Or what about a reboot? Would you be cool with a reboot? Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah,
Skater?
that's fine too. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could call it 6, and it'll still technically be a reboot. I think, unfortunately for most of us Tony Hawk fans, we just get flashbacks of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, and that game's fucking horrible. So,
or what about a new name? Just Tony Hawk's blank, and it's just a new
Tony Hawk,
series
whatever.
up from Vicarious
You want to
Visions.
really hype me up? Underground 3. That's what you do.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you do. That'd be fun. So okay, we'll keep an eye on Toys for Revive, see what's happening there.
Or a Underground 1 and 2 remake.
That Daniel, that's my dream. That is my dream. I'd be in heaven.
Go change your pants.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna need to. Just that image floating around in my head. All right, let's get into some of the Gearbox stuff that also went off today. Let's see here. According to Kotaku sources, Gearbox is in final talks to get sold from Embracer Group to another company. Randy Pitchford told staff in a town hall meeting earlier this week that there will be more info within the next month about this. So
yeah,
okay,
we've been hearing rumors of this for a little while now.
We have, yeah. This has been going around for a while that Embracer Group is going to sell off Gearbox, which is they're biggest studio,
thing.
right?
Other than maybe like the Deep Silver stuff and maybe like the THQ stuff, that kind of vibe, that kind of era, or like not era, but that kind of like section of Embracer. But like, yeah, I mean, Gearbox is so big, they just publish games themselves. Like they'll go and publish like other stuff they find. So it makes sense. Borderlands is probably the biggest IP, maybe other than Tomb Raider or Deus Ex, probably the biggest IP that Embracer has. Oh no, Lord of the Rings still, but it's one of their biggest IPs that they have.
The entirety of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Gearbox is an interesting one. I kind of thought that they might have been an Xbox purchase at some point, just because they've worked so closely with them. But yeah, independent.
The Gearbox purchase has always been very interesting to me because 2K still owns the Borderlands IP. Yeah, and it's like, okay, so you got Gearbox, but you didn't get the biggest IP that the Gearbox makes. So it was just kind of like, and
they
also
still have to work with 2K.
If you got, exactly, they're still gonna have to work with 2K to make Borderlands games, which it seems like they are making Borderlands games still. I know we got the leak of Tiny Tina Wonderland 2 and Borderlands 4. I forget what that leak was
Borderlands
from.
4.
But yeah, it's so we're getting both those things. So yeah, it's like, how big of a cut was Embracer Group going to get out of all of that anyways? They're probably just like, well, this is a fuck situation. Embracer Group is just the funniest one because they shot themselves in the foot in all of this by not getting the Saudi Arabia deal, right? So
you're not Xbox. You don't have the Microsoft backing. Like, what are you doing?
So it's just, I mean, if I'm working if I'm a developer at an Embracer studio team right now, I'm terrified.
You're shaking in your boots.
Yeah, terrified because it's just like that whole thing seems to be crashing and burning.
House of Cards.
Yeah, man. Okay,
There's
so
one more here with that too.
with
There's a
that, is
combo.
it the
It's right above
Saber
it.
Interactive thing? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Let's see here. So this is from Jason Schreier. Saber Interactive, developers of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, will also be leaving Embracer in a $500 million deal to become a privately owned company. This is the biggest move yet in Embracer Group's ongoing cost-cutting initiative.
Yeah, so this one's confirmed and it's happening now. Yeah, Saber's huge. They do a lot of like port jobs. They do a lot of remasters and remakes.
They do a lot.
Um, they're huge. They got
Me
studios.
and you
I
really
think two
like
of them.
the. I don't know if you did that much, but I really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that came out last year.
I didn't get to play it.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
couldn't remember
yeah.
if that. Oh, that was Evil Dead that me and you played. Okay, that was
Yes, yeah, that was
very
Evil
similar.
Dead.
Very
Yeah,
similar. The
yeah,
Texas
but
Chainsaw Massacre game
Texas
was
it
great.
sold pretty well. They just had
Yeah,
their recent numbers. Like it
yeah, yeah,
sold
yeah.
fairly well.
It had good numbers of players too.
Hmm.
It was on Game Pass and
Game
stuff. So
Pass, yeah.
yeah, so there was
The
a
game
lot.
was pretty
There
successful
was a
for what
lot
it
of
was.
good in that Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. That was my favorite thing that was in that vein since that Friday the 13th
Did
game.
you like that
So
more than Evil Dead?
I did like that more than Evil Dead. I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got pretty into that Texas. Not super into it, but I'd say I put like a good 15-ish hours into it. So which
That's
is
yeah.
typically a lot more than I put in a multiplayer game. So yeah, I actually really like that game. So yeah, okay, Saber Interactive going private here. I guess we don't have any confirmation if they're still working on the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Who knows what's up with
This is
that
just,
game?
oh man, people are killing me today. Knights of the Republic remake gone, Tony Hawk gone, Crash gone, Spyro gone. It's just,
Next, you're just
uh,
gonna be gone.
yeah, dude, fucking okay, never mind. We're actually firing me from Nerdic Gods because
Yeah.
I can't handle this industry anymore. I'm actually done.
Deck 9 cut,
Oh,
gutted.
super massive. Oh my god, dude, this
What's
is horrible.
happening? What is
PlayStation.
happening?
Uh,
I'm just gonna
Jesus, I'm
laugh.
just gonna go into a deep depression after this. After just realizing all my
Just
favorite
now?
teams are just going, yeah, just now. Well, I've been stuck in the deep depression for a while, Daniel. But you know, it's I'm sinking even deeper into the dark place
Yeah.
now, Daniel. You know.
Go to Mariana's Trench. That's how deep.
Okay, so nothing actually on the Knights of the Republic remake.
No, but they are
Curious to
getting
see
out of.
what's going on there.
They're running away from Embracer. That's what they're doing.
Can't blame them.
They don't want to shutter their own self, right? So
Yeah.
get out of there if they can.
Yeah.
Because like they're kind of a gun for hire, you know. Like they work with a lot of different people. They did for a long time
Didn't they
before.
work with CD Projekt Red at one point on something?
They did the Witcher 3 port of Switch.
That's it. There you go.
Yeah. They do ports. They were doing the Final Fantasy 7 remake initially, if you remember that.
That was them.
Before
Really?
Square,
Okay.
yeah, before Square took it.
Okay. So that was a while ago then.
That was a
like
long,
what,
long time ago.
2015-ish, probably.
Poof.
Around there? Yeah.
I mean, it could have been earlier than that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting though.
Yeah,
Them. I actually
they're a bit of a
didn't know
gun
that.
for hire. They're a
Okay.
huge studio too. I think they have a couple different locations.
Yeah,
and
it seems
stuff.
like they're giant. Okay, so curious to see what happens there, what they're gonna continue to make and work on and stuff. Hopefully they'll be able to stay on their feet privately. I'm sure someone. I mean, hey, if you're Microsoft or PlayStation and you need someone to make a
least
second
hire 'em.
party game,
Yeah.
there you go. All right. All right, cool. Then let's move on here. Let's see. What news stories haven't we gone through? Did Toys for Bob, did PlayStation. Okay, let's move into a somewhat fun one then. Over in the world of Nintendo, that just seems to be, God, Nintendo is just the only safe place right now. You know,
Sunshine
just like
in-
Nintendo, thank you for just being you. You know, because it's just
You're
like
so goofy and
you
weird.
guys are the only man. If I'm just like a Nintendo fanboy right now, and I'm just like living in that world and not paying attention to other companies and consoles, you're in a great place. You're happy as fuck right now.
You know the meme of the two guys in the bus where one's like looking out and he's sad, the
and
other
he's
one's looking out.
sunshine, and he sees the
Everyone
cliffside.
else in the industry is
Yeah,
sad.
and
and Nintendo's
Nintendo.
these.
Nintendo's like Princess Peach, March 22nd. You know,
Hey.
Hey. Great. Okay, cool. So Game Freak held a Pokemon Presents on Tuesday. Lots of things were shown off, but the major news is a sequel to Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is happening and will come out sometime in 2025. I don't know how you pronounce the title. It's
ZA?
not it's Z.
Because there was a dash.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's ZA. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay,
it's
so
ZA. I think it
Pokemon
is
Legends
ZA.
ZA.
Yeah.
I like ZA though. I mean ZA sounds fun. You know,
Pokemon ZA.
Pokemon ZA.
It's pizza. You know, it's about pizza.
They cut up little Pikachu's, little pepperoni Pikachu
Toppings. Yeah.
toppings. Yeah.
Pokemon are the toppings of the
Eat
pizza.
that. Got an electric
Of the
bite to
za,
it.
as we would say.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah. What
Danielle,
do
I
you like
know,
on
I
your
know you like the Pokemon Legends Arceus quite a bit, so you gotta be happy here.
I liked it a lot. I think that it could have been even better. My biggest problem with that game was the combat and
Mm,
like the fighting.
yeah.
It was not regular Pokemon fighting. It kind of changed it a bit. I didn't like that. But where they did really well was the catching and like the collecting and the catching side. That's like some of the best Pokemon has ever been. And they like didn't even do that in um, Scarlet and Violet. It was not the same. So I hope that they go back to that catching style still, and I hope that catching style goes back to like Gen 10 when they make that. Um, yeah, I'm very curious what this is going to be. There's just a lot of rumors right now. We don't know that the teaser didn't really have that much. Um,
Supposedly in the Hawaii setting that was in X and Y, right?
no, well, supposedly it is in the X and Y. That's not the Hawaii setting.
Oh, that's
The
not okay.
Hawaii, yeah, that one is Sun and Moon.
Oh, okay. What is X and Y
Yeah.
then?
Is it Kalos or something like
What
that?
what is that like a ripoff? Like how they
I
always
think it's
do
Paris.
Paris.
I think it's
Gotcha.
France.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. I like X and Y a lot. I think it's a good Pokemon
Which
game.
one's for
That was
X and
kind of
Y then? That was also DS.
Greninja. It was the first 3DS one.
It was the first 3DS one, huh? And then
Yeah.
what was the Hawaiian one like right after that or something?
hmm
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, those are the two DS ones. 3DS ones. Yeah, we don't know a lot about it. We don't know like what starters it'll be. You know, like they in Arceus or in Arceus they took like 3 from different generations and
Hmm.
were like they kind of did that. So they'll probably do something like that, I would guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious. I love Pokemon. I wonder if this is going to be kind of the same time frame as Arceus was, like January, come out in January of
Yeah.
2025 is kind of what I'm thinking.
It did say
And then
simultaneous release on the trailer. So wonder if that's a Switch 2 thing, if
uh,
there's a Switch 2 version of this game that launches alongside maybe the console itself and
yeah,
maybe you even put out the regular. Oh, I guess they said simultaneous. So I don't know. Let's say Switch 2 is in March. Maybe this could be a launch game.
yeah, maybe it gets pushed a little further than I'm thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm wondering where Gen 10 is. It would be my question. Like if that's going to be
Would that
the
line
Pokemon
up
game,
for next year, next fall, like
yes,
2025 fall? That's when
it
that
would.
that should be coming out.
But I don't know if they're going to do that. Maybe
Mhm.
they push it to give. You know what? Give Game Freak another year, please.
Imagine,
How about that?
imagine.
Make it 2026. We'll be fine. We have Pokemon ZA coming out. That's cool. You know, like
You
give
give
Game
Game
Freak.
Freak 5 years, like other developers, they might
Oh
make the
my
best game ever.
god,
They
it
might
would
make
be
the
the
best game
greatest
ever.
video game of all time.
Like
Are you kidding
literally
me?
make the best game ever. That's why Nintendo won't do it. They're like, yeah, it's too powerful.
I love the joke on Punching Up. The like Nintendo doesn't want us to be too happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little
It's so
happy.
true.
It's so true, dude. It's so true.
Okay. So yeah. I don't know. I never had much interest in Legends Arceus. I think it is that combat, like you were saying earlier. If they did switch it to the turn-based combat, I might be more
Yeah.
interested then to
It,
go
it,
and
no,
jump
it
in and
is
check it
turn
out.
based.
Oh, is it?
It's just
Okay.
more of just. It's hard to explain
Every
unless you
time I
like.
see that game, I'm just like, I don't know. That doesn't look like it's for me.
I could make an argument for you to play it, but like, like the game just has some weird things when it comes to its combat that it's changed compared to normal combat. So I don't like that. The more like not turn basedness is like you could throw a Pokemon out and you can have it fight, and you can still be running, and it can like you could just do that and have it level up, or whatever. That's a cool idea. They need to bring that back. My argument for you to play Arceus would be like, do you like catching and kind of collecting at all in
No,
Pokemon?
that's my least favorite things about Pokemon. I just like getting my team and then going around the gyms,
Okay.
leveling up, and then getting all the badges, doing the Elite Four, and then I'm bounce.
See, I'm mostly there with you.
Yeah.
I do like some catching though. Like I like to get the Pokemon I like and then catching them.
Yeah.
Even if I don't really use them all that often, I still
Yeah.
like the idea of catching. I'm not about getting the full decks.
Like
I
I'd
don't really
say
care.
my average mainline Pokemon game experience, I catch less than 10 Pokemon, maybe 12-ish, like right around there.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, so not that much.
Yeah, it's like if
Yeah,
I
see, you
see
just
one that I
don't.
really like and I want it on my team and I want to actually use it, then I'll catch it.
Okay. Yeah, you just don't have the connection with like you skipped a lot. So
I
you're
did,
not like,
yeah.
"Oh, I like these few. I'm
Literally,
gonna
I
get
played
these."
Pokemon Yellow when I was a kid. Didn't didn't play another Pokemon game until Switch came out. So
Yeah. Me, it's like it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I see that guy, I want him. Boop.
Right. Yeah.
I do need to like figure out a way to transfer everything, like get all my Sword and Shield stuff, all my Scarlet and Violet stuff, so
Yeah.
that like when the next game I can like,
Have them
because there's
all.
that
Yeah.
Pokemon like library or whatever it's called, or
Pokemon Home.
bank or
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
I gotta like transfer all. I gotta figure out how that works.
Yeah. I do find that aspect really cool that you can like
The
carry
home stuff.
Pokemon through the generations. Like that's
Hmm.
a neat idea.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Daniel. Let's get into the video game Circana numbers for the month of January 2024. Our first 2024 Circana numbers.
Let's go.
We will
Connor
go
Circana
through
Corner.
Connor Circana Corner. We're here. 2024. We're alive. Not laid off
Is it a
yet.
good month?
It's a decent month. It's a decent month.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go through the top 20. Number 20, God of War Ragnarok. Number 19. How do you pronounce this one? Is it Jujutsu?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen. What is that?
That's an anime game.
Oh,
It shouldn't be
okay.
up there.
Oh,
It
Bandai
sucks.
Namco. There you
seen
go.
that game? It
No.
sucks.
Oh,
That
does
game's
it?
a bad
Okay.
game. Yeah.
Well, it got the number 19, so
Because of its name.
because of its name. Okay.
Yeah.
Kids out there, they want to play
Very
that.
popular
Huh?
anime. Yeah.
Cool,
very
cool. Okay. Number 18, Mario Kart 8. Here we go.
Stop
Continuing the trend.
Stop it.
Here you go. There you
You're the
go.
reason why there's layoffs. It's your fault.
It's your fault. Stop buying Mario Kart. Number 17, Minecraft. Number 16, Gran Turismo 7. Number 15, Mortal Kombat 1. Number 14, Elden Ring.
Let's go.
Let's go, Elden Ring. Getting up there. Gotta prepare for the DLC.
Yeah. Everybody buy it again.
Number 13, new one, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
13? Let's
13.
go.
13.
That's pretty good for that game, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder what they were really expecting there from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too high.
Yeah, hopefully this cracks a mill. Like, I think they should be happy with that.
Happy with that. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Okay, then another Ubisoft game at number 12, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah,
Still
I'm not
selling?
sure how well that game actually ended up selling for them. I would like to see what the full numbers are.
That's another one. It depends on, like, the budget and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a fat fee too for Disney to
Oh, yeah.
do that. So okay. Number 11, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Number 10, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Number 9, The Last of Us Part 2. Jumped up from
That's
100...
probably that remaster, right?
Yeah, it's 100% the remaster. That came out in January. So jumping up from number 167 the month before. Which is always funny.
Are they including it with, like, the regular? Is that what that is?
Yeah, must be, I guess.
That's
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
last month's rank, excuse me. Number 7, here we go. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Coming in number 7.
Should
we
be
go.
higher.
Should be higher, yeah. We know this sold 1 million copies within
Yeah.
like its first week, so good for them. Fastest selling Like a Dragon game. Number 6, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 5, Madden NFL
Whoa.
24. What's
Hogwarts
well?
still selling.
Hogwarts?
Hogwarts.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Still
I mean, it'd be number
way up
one
at number
last year.
6, right?
Yeah, still selling into this.
Yeah, I mean that's probably
People
gonna keep
really
going
wanted
for a
that
while.
game.
Yeah, I don't imagine that one getting knocked out of the top 20 for a while.
Yeah, I
being
wonder.
honest, yeah.
I guess Babe Ruth in it is this going to be in the top 10 this year?
Ooh,
Still?
just entirely. Could
Yeah.
be. Could
Do
be.
you think it's going to have those legs?
Yeah, I guess it depends what actually comes out this year, right? But
Yeah.
certainly in the top 20. But yeah, top
Yeah,
10.
I don't see it
maybe.
dropping out of that far yet.
Yeah. Okay, number 5 then was Madden NFL 24. Number 4, this is interesting to me. Persona 3 Reload.
Nice.
Selling higher in Like a
Persona-
Dragon. Interesting.
I think Persona's a bigger name.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as it pains me as a huge Like a Dragon fan, people hopping on the bandwagon now. I get it.
I think
But-
that's just interesting to me because it's a remake, It's not it's not Persona 6,
Some
Whereas
people might not even
Like a Dragon
think about it.
is Like a Dragon 8,
Yeah, maybe people are just thinking like, "Hey, we want to play the new Persona game."
Yeah. I'm sure there's a ton of people too that never played Persona 3, so
Very true.
I get
hard to
majority of
get.
people, right? So yeah. Persona 3 really good for them. We also know that was the fastest selling in the series, sold over 1 million copies too. So
That's crazy. Yeah. Wait
Yeah.
for 6. That game's gonna be huge.
yeah,
At least
yeah.
for that series.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully next year we end up getting that. Number 3 then, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Coming in at number 3. I know
Makes sense.
it did not meet sales expectations for WB.
Yeah,
it's
I wonder if
apparently-
they're gonna.
It's not
get some
doing
legs.
well on player count either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this isn't a win for WB. I don't think by any means.
No.
I think they got to be very disappointed here just from the player.
I still want to
count.
play it.
Even if it's still sold in the top 3 for this month. That's still That's not what they were hoping for, especially with how long the development period took over at Rocksteady, right?
I'm still gonna play it. I'm gonna check that game out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like adding anything and new characters, any new big missions or something. Like I wonder if that's gonna have
I wonder what kind of
any.
support they're gonna give it, you know?
Yeah,
If I'm WB, I'm backing the fuck out of the live service market, especially after how well Hogwarts did, you know?
yeah. Where's Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
We heard
Yeah,
about that
where
game
is
like
that
2 years
game?
ago.
Yeah. That's a great question because yeah, we did hear about that forever ago at this point.
Yeah,
And
Shadow of War
you would
was
think it
what?
would be getting near completion, you know?
Yeah, Shadow of War was like 2018 or something like that.
That was yeah, that was 17.
17.
That was 17. That was fall 17, yeah. There we
That's
go, man.
insane.
Yeah.
What are you doing,
You're looking at
Monolith?
another studio that might be a decade between games, you know?
Monolith, come on now. You're a
Crazy.
great studio. What are you doing?
Number 2, you'll like this one, Tekken 8 coming in at number 2.
Let's go.
I believe this game. I believe they said over 3 million copies now. So
That sounds about right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was either 2 or 3. So but whatever. Tekken 8 doing extremely well. Good for them.
Here's my Eddie Gordo impression. Ready? He goes. He's like this.
It's really
He's
good.
always,
It's really
yeah,
good.
he's always doing like this.
Did you do the mocap?
I did. I did. You want to see me do a flip?
Please.
Or do a spin?
And then
When's
your number.
when's he coming out? Give me an announcement, Bandai. Come on.
Come on, Bandai.
Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie at? Why wasn't he in the main game?
Your number 1 for the month of January. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Oof, who could have guessed?
Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed? No one. No one saw this coming.
Nope.
And there you go. That's it for January.
That was at least some positive news. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Games are selling, I guess. You know, good games are
Yeah.
selling, which is good. All right. So, yeah. Be interested to see next month. I mean, we should be getting a lot of big games in February, right? Rebirth, Helldivers.
Rebirth's only gonna have one day though, so I'll be
Yeah,
curious to see
that's a
how
good
high it is
point.
on
Good
one
point.
day.
Yeah, only on one day. I wonder if they must include pre-order numbers then into that as well.
For sure.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we'll see how high Rebirth gets for next month. Helldivers 2, that came out way earlier this month, so that had a long time in February.
Yeah, that one's gonna be interesting because of its multi-platform for them and
Their
like it being,
director
what, 30
said
bucks or
over
40 bucks?
3 million already.
3 mil.
So,
Okay.
copies. So yeah, so should be fairly high up there, if not number 1. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Is it 30 or 40?
It's 40.
How-
The game.
It's 40? Okay.
Yeah. This kid
Yeah.
at work that keeps trying to get me to buy it. I'm like, bro,
Uh,
I'm playing Yakuza and Final Fantasy. I do not have time for this.
it's not a game I was playing yet. I have it bought and downloaded, and me and Sloan want to play it. So it's
Helldivers?
there. It's there.
Cool.
I'm gonna play it before the end of the year. I want to talk about that. Like, I want that to be part of our award. I want to try. This year, last year was kind of rough for me. I had a lot going on, busy, and all that work, just a bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff. Like there's games I missed last year, so I'm trying to like play more this year if I can.
Sounds like this year's even rougher for you, bud. I don't know if that's gonna end up happening.
No, I'm trying.
Okay, well, Daniel will keep trying. And we will move on with the news. We still got some more stories to go through, so chopping through here. Let's see then. The famous Final Fantasy composer. You are gonna have to help me with this name.
Yeah. Let me look at it so I can get it right.
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
Where's he at? Where are you
Sounds
at,
like you're
buddy?
casting a spell. I can't.
It's new. It's Nobuo. I think.
Nobuo.
Nobuo Uematsu.
Uematsu.
Uematsu is usually what people call him. Just Uematsu. Yeah.
Uematsu. Okay.
Yeah.
He says that he doesn't think he has the physical or mental strength to ever make another video game soundtrack again. Which I
It sounds
believe
like he still
did he
wants to
do
do
Rebirth?
stuff. Yeah, I think he helped at Rebirth. I don't think he was
Okay,
the
gotcha,
primary
gotcha.
composer.
Was he the primary on 16?
No, that was someone else.
Okay.
He was the primary in the original. He was like an OG. He's an OG.
He's that guy.
He's an OG. Yeah,
Gotcha,
for
okay.
sure. He's just getting old. Like it takes a lot. If you go and look at somebody like John Williams, like that's nuts. That dude's nuts.
Yeah.
He's a legend too. Like John Williams is what, pushing 90 or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's still out there composing. Like he just probably can't stop John, is what I would guess. But Uematsu, I mean, he's getting old, he's probably gonna help and maybe like consult on like some music stuff. But doing a full game probably takes a lot out of you. Especially a big AAA game like Rebirth.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of music that goes into that game.
Yeah.
It's a Final Fantasy game. So yeah, it sucks, you know. It hurts to see someone so legendary like that, you know, not being able to do a full game anymore. But we're gonna get just more and more of that, you know, as time goes.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it
eventually,
just goes to show you, man. Like, appreciate these people while they're here because
yeah,
they're not all gonna be here forever. So
yeah,
you
the
really gotta
Kojimas.
appreciate them while they're here now. You know, give them their
Mhm.
flowers now, not when they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Like appreciate Kojima's games now. Appreciate Ken Levine's games now. All those guys, Neil Druckmann's. You know,
It's
all the
like
big
you never know,
directors.
like when one of these guys is just gonna retire and just be like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm out.
Todd Howard.
Especially with
We
how
love.
rough the video game industry is right now. You know, it's
Yeah,
like you never see you never want to see it, but it's like there's a lot of these guys might just be like, fuck this, like I'm getting out while I can. You know, especially guys that have made a ton of money, been doing this for decades at this point. You know.
yes, we love Todd Howard, but like Todd's getting up there in age too. I mean, he doesn't
Yeah,
have much time
it's
either.
not gonna
Like,
be. I mean, he hinted at the Elder Scrolls
hmm
6 might be his last game, so it's like it's like those are big undertakings. Neil Druckmann this week was talking about
I know. Yeah,
he only thinks he has a few more of these big games left in him. It's just like these are huge
the way that I
undertakings.
took Neil, at least, I have to look more into like what he was saying on that podcast. But like the way I was taking it is like the big games at this scale of
Mhm.
like 7 year developments. I feel like maybe if there were smaller developments, he could make much more. But
Yeah, yeah,
it's just I feel like how big and long these games take. It's just it takes a lot out of you.
yeah, 100%. I mean, imagine being the head of one of those giant big AAA games. You know, like you are
Working
the
all these
guy, you are
parts,
the
yeah.
forefront, you are the face of that project, right? That is years of your life taken away just devoted to that one project. So yeah, man, it's just
Yeah,
appreciate these
go
people while they're here.
go watch Psych Odyssey. It will make you appreciate video
Definitely,
games
yeah.
more.
I mean, dude, even Tim Schafer pointed it out. Like, he
I don't want
wasn't
to. I don't
directing the
want to
game
think about it.
originally. You know, it's a he had to be. I don't. He wasn't like forced or anything, but like he had to be put in a position where
Zach,
he
they had
had to
to fire
direct.
Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He had to be put in a position where he had to direct Psychonauts too. You know, it's like you can clearly tell Tim Schafer didn't want to be the main director, main guy of a big project like that.
Yeah. I will, to be fair to that studio, he does have other little projects in there and they
Right.
have other directors. So, like, that is already something they've explored. But, like, I don't want to think about Tim Schafer not directing a game. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Or, like, not being around writing a game. Like, what would the games industry be without a crazy, like, quirky voice like Tim Schafer? You
Just
know?
people like that, you know, like you just need
Yeah.
people like that to evolve video games and throw new ideas out there that other people in the future can make something out of, right?
Or be inspired by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then, let's continue on. This one I found interesting. Not a lot of people reporting on this, but this was in the Sacred Symbols episode, Jonathan Blow. So on a recent episode of Sacred Symbols, when Colin Moriarty was interviewing Jonathan Blow confirmed that his new game is nearing the end of development, and he quote said that he can see a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel of development. Uh, Daniel, I found this extremely interesting. So yeah, I was listening to this, and they barely touched on Jonathan Blow's next project, but he did say a couple things that were going on with it. He's talking about they built a whole new engine for the game, which he
Is that
was
why it's taking so long?
that's why it's taking so long. Yeah, he wanted to make a programming language, and for that, they like needed a lot of this went above my head. So excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, but he wanted to make a new programming language, and with that, he had to make a new engine. So they had to
Hmm.
throw out the engine that they already made an entire new engine for the Witness, and
Oh,
they actually ended
no.
up having to throw that completely out because he wanted to do something completely different with his next game that engine couldn't handle or something. So
Huh.
that's why it is taking probably what's going to be over a decade, if I had to guess. Uh,
When was The Witness?
the Windows was 2015, so
15.
yeah, it was that long
Oh
ago,
my
Daniel. Yeah,
god.
so yeah, is they're a small team. I think he said it was only about 20 people that are
That
on
makes
that
sense.
team. So it makes a lot of sense why they're taking so long. So yeah, him and his team decided to make an entirely new engine. And that's why this game is taking so long. But he did say he thinks this will be one of the biggest puzzle games ever. He did
Hmm.
confirm that it is a puzzle game of some sort again, so which of course you would expect. And they are releasing Braid Anniversary next month in April, at the end of April. So
Okay.
yeah, that'll come out around then. Hopefully that'll give them a little bit more money and a little bit more relay to cross the finish line with a new game. And who knows what he means by he can see the light at the end of the tunnel here on the next development. That could mean a year, that could mean 5 years, with this guy. So Yeah, I'm not saying it's anywhere near done, but they're 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 seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, as he said.
Yeah, it's probably not being super reported quite yet, just because we don't really know what the game is or
Mhm.
seen anything or even have a name. Like it's just so nebulous. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's probably why most of the reporting. Because like show a little something, anything, a name, call it something,
yeah,
even like
anything really.
a piece of artwork. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
At
just
least like
wanted to throw it in there. I'm a giant fan of Braid and The Witness. I loved both those games.
I still
So
need to play The Witness.
yeah.
It's a game
Oh,
I need
dude,
to
you
play.
do need to play The Witness. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
legitimately one of the only puzzle games where it just got too hard for me at some point. Where I was just like, okay, I'm done with this because it was too much. But a very trippy game, some awesome ideas in
Yeah,
there.
I've heard how trippy it is. I want to play
Yeah,
it for
very
that.
trippy, very trippy. So I can't wait to see what he does next and whatever his
Yeah,
next game is.
yeah. And Braid's a cool game too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna be checking out that Braid Anniversary Edition next month. So looking forward to that. Okay, let's get in. I think we only got one or two news stories left. Yeah, we got two left, so let's run through them. Insider Gaming has some details on how Assassin's Creed Infinity will actually work. It will essentially be a hub for at least the next three major Assassin's Creed games. The main focus being a live service offering, all told via the modern day storytelling that the Assassin's Creed franchise is known for, and will launch the same day as Assassin's Creed Red. Daniel, I know me and you have been speculating on this whole Assassin's Creed
Mhm.
Infinity thing because they didn't talk about it at all after they
No.
announced it. They did talk about Red a little bit after that,
Mhm.
but so we were wondering if this was even still a thing, and I guess unfortunately it is, Daniel.
I love that word. Yes. Here, I got some Ubisoft. Call me. I'll give you some advice. So with Assassin's Creed Infinity, what you should do is don't do it. How about that? You just don't do it.
You just don't. Literally just put out whatever
Just
Assassin's
make a
Creed
game.
Red is, and you're
Yep.
fine.
Just make the game, and then no one knows what Infinity is. You can explain it, and people are still not going to understand because you're trying to make some weird hub thing. The live service games are failing left and right. Don't do this. You will save money and save people's jobs, right? Don't do it.
Yeah, it depends how in depth they go with it, I guess, right? Like, are there things I'm gonna be needing to buy or play through that are in the Infinity Hub?
In the hub, yeah.
Yeah, because like then that's a little weird. But if it is just like a hub, and you're just like walking around in I'd imagine it's the first person thing again, in the modern day storytelling that Assassin's Creed has been doing, and it's just like, oh, go sit in this animus, and we'll send you to
And that's
Japan.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah,
And then you sit in that one, and that's
you could see
Japan.
that too, right? Like, oh, here's the Black Flag remake. Come walk
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. It's very odd to me. It's we've never really seen this in like a single player way. So and this is like essentially what they do anyways. They kind of Assassin's Creed games, the major one comes out, next year's the big expansion, then the next big Assassin's Creed is the next year, right? And that's kind of what they've been doing for a little while. So I guess if you want to do that all in a hub, it could work. I worry about them all kind of feeling samey, It's like how similar is Assassin's Creed Red gonna feel gameplay wise and graphic wise and all that to Assassin's Creed Hex then, 2 years after that, right? Like like look at fucking people complaining about the boat animation in God of War Ragnarok, right? Because it was the same animation from the original God of War. Like you're gonna be seeing a fuck ton of that
What a
type
bunch
of
of
shit in
losers,
Assassin's Creed Red
dude.
and Assassin's Creed Hex. Oh, the same losers complaining about the puddles in fucking Spider-Man. It's like,
Yeah, I said, what a
it's like
bunch of
shut
losers.
up. You guys would never notice that in your fucking lives. Like get over it.
Oh my god.
uh
People suck.
so maybe from that end, but I don't know. Maybe this could. I just don't see like what's the advantage here. Like, how do you guys make live service money out of this?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because
Yeah, I don't
those people would just buy it separately. Then you put out Assassin's Creed Red, they're gonna buy it. Then they're gonna put out Hex, and now you're just doing that all
Yeah,
through
what's
one
the point of the
hub.
hub?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there exactly. There's some interesting story things you could do there through the modern day stories.
Yeah.
Storytelling
Everyone thought
stuff,
that's where
right?
they were going, was making a sci-fi future thing with like Desmond or
In the
whatever. Yeah.
beginning, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. That stuff was so cool in Assassin's Creed Ron.
You didn't know where they were
At the end.
going with it.
No, you had no idea, and it was just like so cool. The little hints at the end. Remember the very end of Assassin's Creed 1 with the hieroglyphs written on the wall and shit, and then you were like, "Oh, whoa, what the fuck is going on here?" The fucking 13-year-old Connor was freaking out. He didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I just should not do Infinity. That's what I think. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. What's the point? You know, it's like where do you guys get the extra money out of this is my big question. You know, I suppose there'll be microtransactions through the hub. I guess like I don't know. Maybe you'll get like a skin that you can use in Assassin's Creed Red, and you could use that same costume in Assassin's Creed Hex type of thing. I guess.
Yeah, yeah, you could be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just yeah. I just don't see what the advantage here is. Not yet. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I guess it's even like touch on like the sameness that you're thinking. Like apparently, like the Assassin's Creed Hex is like gonna be more horror, and then like maybe Red could be more stealth and like have that. So like even to that, like there could be different aspects of it. You know, feel like the more open worldy Assassin's Creed has been. Then there's like the old school kind of what me and you really like Assassin's Creed combat and feel, and then maybe there's kind of like do crazy cool things with Assassin's Creed. Maybe that thing is just a horror game, but it's an Assassin's Creed game, right? Like that could be something different, you know?
Yeah, that'd be dope. I would just with it feeling same. I would just worry that like the gameplay feels exactly the same. You don't feel those sort of minor upgrades that you would feel from one Assassin's Creed game to the next through
Hmm.
this. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they could still do that, especially graphically. That interests me because you'd imagine if it's the next three major Assassin's Creed games, that third one would be launching on like PS6, X, and whatever the next Xbox is.
Yeah.
We're probably at that point by then. So like I don't like how do you I guess Fortnite like does upgrade its graphics occasionally. So I guess you could do that, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting place for a single player genre to go to.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just I
It
really
kind of it reminds me. I think I've said this before, but it reminds me of what people have wanted kind of Madden and FIFA to do. If there to just be one Madden and FIFA that you buy, and then there's just upgrades every year that you also buy.
yeah. I guess that's different. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those. We're gonna
A
have to
weird
see
space.
what
Yeah.
they're doing exactly, what they're cooking up, and I don't know.
Cuz
I
like
have my fingers crossed that Assassin's Creed Red is gonna be good.
yeah, I give like Ubisoft credit cuz like at least those Assassin's Creeds are like brand new games,
Yeah,
right? I don't
definitely.
know. Madden's is kind of Madden. They don't really do that much new.
Fucking Madden.
Come on.
Our last news story. Remedy Entertainment has acquired the rights to Control and anything related to the IP from 505 Games. Also, they announced Alan Wake 2 is their fastest-selling game to date, which is an older news
Let's
story,
go.
but I want to throw it in there too because we never even talked about that.
This is
But
the most positive thing, other than the
good for them.
Pokemon.
Yeah, good point. Good point. This is actually positive. There's some stuff going on with 505 today, I believe, right?
Uh-oh. I don't know. I didn't see anything. Did you?
Let me see here.
Well, this is great for Remedy. That means they have full control of, they have full control of control. Uh,
So
and, go ahead.
505 Games is closing offices in Germany, Spain, and France.
That's getting close to where they are. So yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense.
So it seems
Yeah,
like
maybe they're
505
trying
Game is in some trouble right now.
consolidating. Yeah,
Yeah, and
consolidating a bit,
that's why they sold this off.
getting some money, some cash flow.
Yeah.
And it's I guess they need the money, right? But then I guess it's also we from the gamers' perspective, we get like, oh man, Remedy gets their IP now. Like
Yeah.
they made this new IP, full control of it now. So I don't know, maybe they can use Jesse more than they could without like getting permission or something. So
Yeah, I think it's probably just about getting all that money. You know, it's like
yeah.
and also 505 if they do close down entirely, you know, at least they have the IP now. So
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, well, I guess what's Remedy cooking next? I guess is it going to be Max Payne 1 and 2?
yeah, I mean, we know we're getting that Control multiplayer spin-off
The
game as
multiplayer?
well. Yeah, so I would guess those two are probably in the forefront of being made, right? Those are probably the next two up out of Remedy, and then we know Control 2
Probably
being made,
next.
and I don't know, maybe early production of Alan Wake 3, hopefully. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
we know
We know,
this is another team that moves quick.
yeah,
They once they announce something that's there, it's gonna be they're gonna hit usually, like they did with Alan Wake. I believe when they're gonna hit. So
yeah, I do too. We know the Alan Wake 2 DLC is this year as well, so we'll
oh
get
yeah,
in that too. Yeah, I'd imagine that's this year then. Yeah, maybe next year we get something out of them, whether it be the multiplayer game or the Max Payne remakes. One of those two, if I had
yeah.
to
I
guess.
wonder like how heavy those remakes are gonna be.
I'd imagine fairly heavy. You know, they're
Yeah.
gonna want to make those look as beautiful as Alan Wake 2 was.
Oh, dude,
So
that's gonna be so
it's gonna
awesome.
be fucking awesome. I
Oh
can't
my
wait.
god.
I can't
But
wait.
rest in peace to Max Payne though.
I'm doing a full playthrough because I've never played Max Payne 1 and 2. I've
Me
only
neither.
played
I've only
3.
played a little bit.
Yeah,
I beat 3. I played a little bit of 1, and I have not played 2.
I'm gonna do like a full playthrough. I'm gonna do 1, 2, and 3. I
Nice.
haven't
I
played
love
3 in
3.
years too. Yeah, I love 3 too. So yeah, that'll be fun. Can't wait. Let's go. Love Remedy. And then yeah,
Love
Alan Wake 2,
Remedy.
fastest selling Remedy game. Good for them.
Let's
I know there
go.
was a lot of like worrying in the beginning when that game first came out that I wasn't doing super hot, and seems to be doing fairly well, or at least as
Yeah,
well as Remedy would have liked.
I'm sure it's still like didn't sell as well as it should. But
Yeah.
the thing about Remedy is they seem to budget their games very well.
Right.
So I mean, I guess they're in Europe as well, so it's a little different over there.
Yeah,
So
where are they located? It's something about their
I think they're in
country in
Finland, right?
particular. Yeah, it's
Are
something
they in
about
Are
their
they
country.
Sweden? No,
I
they're
think it's
Finnish. I
yeah,
think they're Finland.
one of those two.
Yeah.
Something about their country in particular though allows them to keep their budgets super low. So yeah, good for them.
They probably get a lot of tax write-offs or something.
Yeah.
Kind of how Canada does.
Oh, Canada. Okay, Daniel, that will do it for all the news. We can now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a little bit more of Balatro. Didn't do as many runs this week as I kind of wanted to. I kind of wanted to check out a little bit more, but still playing that game. Love that game. That game's great. I hope that more people check it out. Seems to be selling very well. I think I think it's only one developer. I think he had announced like he made like $1 million in like like 8 hours or something like that, which is awesome. So like I wonder how well Balatro is selling. I'd be curious to see that. Um, then yeah, still playing Like a Dragon. I am in chapter 6. I think I'm like 31 hours in. I'm in chapter 6 though. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
man, I've done so much side stuff. Yesterday I had a good chunk of time to play. Get ready for this. Ready? Good chunk of time to play. I did all the Sujimon stuff, right?
Hell
I
yeah.
have an amazing team, maxed out levels, full 6 party. I have one of the Kiwami ones too. I randomly got it. So if
Okay.
you look at the bottom, there's like the 5 Kiwami for the 5
Oh,
different
yeah,
types.
yeah.
I have one of them, and I actually got it
Really?
from a basic gotcha machine.
Wow, I don't think
A
I got
basic
any of
ticket.
those. Yeah,
I got the light one, the gold one.
cool. Yeah,
So he's in
the
my
main
party
guy
now.
I was used that I ended up loving was the there's like an Iron Man looking guy that's in like medieval armor. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but
I think I've seen him once.
that guy would just wreck shit for me. So he
Yeah.
was like the forefront of my team. I was like, I love this
It's
guy.
always about like their rarity. They're like star rarity.
Did you beat it, the whole thing, the Sujimon thing?
What I'm getting to. So I did it for pretty much all day because like I was at like the second gym, so like I
Yeah.
pretty much played for a while. Got maxed out party, got to king, did all that. Really cool. I like the whole Goku stuff with Sodachi.
That was
That was
hilarious.
so cool.
Yeah.
I wish he could have stayed that way, but I thought it was funny
Yeah,
how they
then he
did
went
it.
back. Yeah.
And yeah, got to king. I saved in that room.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
So
saved in that
the
room,
arena type thing, or
right
like
in the right,
right outside of
front.
it. Yeah.
Went in, beat king so easily. Like my team's really good.
We'll work on him.
Didn't know that there was going to be a fight after it, and I am
It's
not
the
high
fight.
enough level for it.
Oh, yeah. What level are they in the fight?
They're like 31, 32.
Gotcha, yeah. Because at that point, I was like way over that.
My Costigo was 24.
Oh, he kicked your ass.
Or 25, and then the rest of them were 22, 23, somewhere around there. And yeah, I lost. So I had to revert that save, not beat the Sujimon stuff.
Oh, you gotta
and I have to
wait
go
now.
back later
Yeah.
and do it later. So that's
doesn't
where
end
I
right after that. So you
Okay.
pretty much seen it all. You did see the medieval Iron Man guy then, because King had him on his team.
Did King have him? Okay,
Yeah.
then I must have seen him a different place because I think it was just a random.
Oh,
person
maybe
that
a
had it.
random platinum trainer had it or something
Mhm,
like that.
I think so.
Yeah, I'd love the
Yeah.
Sujimon stuff, man. The Sujimon thing was so
it's
fun.
so fun.
That's all I
love it.
needed out of the side thing. I didn't even need the whole island. I was like, oh yeah, fuck the
Sujimon's good
island.
enough.
Sujimon's cool with me. You know.
Yeah. I would like to get the other Kiwami people, but I'm not gonna like grind out to try to like get more tickets to like randomly get them. Did you get any of the big tickets? Because there's like So you have basic tickets for the basic gotcha machine.
Yeah.
Then you have like a master ticket gotcha machine,
Yeah,
and
then
then
you
there's
have like
another
that
one that
third tier one. I thought
just
that's
says
what you were
master.
saying. That's where you got the other one, the Kiwami one.
No, so I got the Kiwami guy that's in that picture.
Uh-huh.
I got him in the basic one.
Oh,
I
interesting.
opened
Okay.
so many basic ones that I end up getting
It
him out
might
of
be
it.
a post game type of thing. Not post game for the main game, but a post game after you beat King type of thing.
Yeah,
Because
I'd
they
have to
do like
ask
leave the
Sloan.
door. They do tell you like, hey, you can go around and fight other platinum trainers now and stuff like that. I never actually did anything with
Okay.
Sujimon after I beat King, but yeah. So it might be that.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Sloan if he knows where to get those other master tickets because like
Yeah.
I've gotten master tickets,
Oh, there's
multiple of them.
legendaries that you can go get. Sorry to spoil that, but
Yeah,
there's you can go get legendaries after you beat
let's
King. Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So are they
I
better than
didn't
the
actually do
Kiwamis?
that. I
Do you
don't know. I
know?
don't know. I
Okay,
didn't go and get any of them. I
because the
was trying
Kiwamis
to
are
wrap up the game after I beat
what
Sujimon.
they're like a platinum look to them.
Yeah.
So there's like green, bronze, silver, gold, and then this platinum color. Do you know what the legendaries even like their rarity even
No,
is?
no, I
It
don't.
has.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's above the Kiwamis, or if it's above like silver or
Yeah.
the platinum.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. So I only have one platinum guy. I have the rest of my team is just golds. I have
Cool.
like gold rarity people. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Quite enjoyed Sujimon.
I love Sujimon. It's so good.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. So I just got, I guess, no spoilers. I just kind of met like the day doji.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like I just went into that safe house.
Gotcha. Okay.
If that kind of tells you where I am in the story. So
Yeah.
I did get back from the island.
Okay.
I tried to listen to you do some
Are you
sides.
into the island? How into the
I didn't really care that
No,
much.
you
I
didn't
mean, I
care,
like
yeah.
the story of it. I just didn't want to do the whole
Yeah,
island.
the story seemed funny, but yeah, once
Yeah.
you were actually got in there and started doing the stuff, I was just like, I'm not into
There are
this.
people that
So,
like that gameplay stuff. I'm not. If I was gonna do a game like that, I would just go play Animal Crossing. Like
right.
I have a Switch. Like
Yeah.
I would just do that.
Yeah, I heard you.
Um,
Yeah, I never went
but
back to the island after that
it's
tutorial
cool though.
thing.
I like it.
No,
It's
it's cool.
cool.
It seems like there's a whole game there that some people are really into. So I know
Yeah.
Salone and Sims were talking about it, and
Mhm.
they're both really into it. So
I have a whole Pokemon game in it, so that's good for me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That was enough for me. Is the
Yeah.
Sujimon?
So I'm probably gonna do some other side stuff, but like I'm kind of at the point now when I get to enough level. I'm in the dungeon right now. That Hawaii whatever it's called.
Okay.
I'm in that dungeon. It looks like I might be able to do the first two sections of it. I think there's three sections.
Yeah.
I might wait to do that third section. I might see where I am level wise after the first one. I might have to wait for the second one too because
Yeah.
it looked like you had to be like 33
You
or
talking about the
something.
thing that's like the thing from Persona 5? The where it's like you go down all the levels. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking
Kinda,
about like a
yeah.
dungeon in the main story?
No, it's not the main story. It's
Okay,
like so
gotcha.
you do a little bit for the main story. You like
Yeah.
go and get a guy and then you get out, but you can go back to it and then
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like different. It is like it's like Mementos
That's what I'm
from
thinking of. Yeah.
yeah, it's like Mementos. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much. I'm doing that first level right now. And the second level I think is like 31 to 33.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see where my level is if I need to wait to do that. But it seemed to be getting some decent levels. There's some good fights down there.
Yeah, maybe I should have gone there to grind more. I didn't actually end up going back to that.
Yeah, that's what Sloan was saying. He was telling Sims that was a good place to grind.
Good pay.
Or was
Yeah.
he telling you that? He was
He's
telling
probably
somebody that.
Sims. Yeah, and I don't remember
Okay.
talking to him about that.
Yeah, he was saying that the dungeons are a good place. So it seems like there's another dungeon too somewhere. But yeah, it seems like this is a good place to like grind some levels.
Yeah.
But the last game that I've been playing is this like little indie game that I saw. It's called Like a Dragon. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Geometry Survivor.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you're a big fan of Geometry Wars. Do you like Geometry
I
Wars?
do. I love
Do you like?
Geometry Wars.
Okay, I might have a
Yeah.
game for you.
Really? How have I not heard of this?
Be right. Daniel's here with some game a game here. So it's called Geometry Survivor. It is exactly what you think it is. Take Geometry Wars.
I was literally
Take
gonna make the joke too that like, what is this, a Geometry Wars? See?
you take Geometry Wars and you take Vampire Survivor and you shove them together. So it is literally a bullet hell Geometry Wars game with leveling up systems like Vampire Survivors. It also auto shoots, so it's like an auto shooter, like a Survivor game, but Geometry Wars. It's a little different in terms of Vampire Survivors. in terms of its health and how the health works. So in like Vampire Survivors, you have just like a health bar and you could just keep getting hit or whatever. Geometry Wars is like you have hearts and there you get hit, your heart's gone. So it's not like a health bar. It's like you kind of get touched. So it's a little quicker. Like runs could be very quick. You could just get hit and be done. But they give you like a vulnerability, like an iframe, a few iframes
Yeah.
to like get out. And you can also upgrade your hearts, have more. But it is just a Vampire Survivors. So like you do runs. I think you start with 3 hearts. After that, like you get currency, and then after that, you can go upgrade like some things, some hearts, like how much money you get, stuff like that. But it looks very Geometry Wars, very polygonal and stuff like that, and you just run around shooting stuff. A bunch of different enemy types, kind of like a Vampire Survivors. Instead of like counting up to like Vampire Survivors, you count up to like 30, I think it was 30 minutes, and then the Reaper comes and can kill you. This is like it counts down 20 minutes. I think you have to survive 20 minutes. I haven't yet. I think I got to like 6 minutes, I think was the longest I survived. Because it's very quick. Like I said, you just can really take a lot of damage, but it's a very cool game.
This sounds fucking sick. Why is no
It
one
is
talking about
sick.
this?
I'm here. I'm number
Why
one
is no one
Geometry
talking? I have not
Survivor.
heard about this. This is crazy.
I'm a number one Geometry
Just looking it
Survivor
up. This looks awesome. Shit.
influencer. It hit me
What's
up, Geometry Survivor.
It's on like everything.
I have it on Xbox. I think so.
Okay, shit.
Probably on Steam.
I'll go
I don't know
buy
if
it
it's on
X-
Switch.
How much was it?
PlayStation. It's like $8. It's
That's not bad at
a
all.
little bit more than Vampire Survivors, which
Yeah.
it's okay. Like I don't know, like Vampire Survivors probably had more content if I'm being real than this game
$8, I
does.
don't know.
But it's
Gives a fuck,
$8,
right?
and
Yeah.
you just do run. Yeah, it's a fun game. Check it out. It's
That's awesome.
I'm gonna
I will
keep doing
definitely
some
check
runs
that
in it.
out,
This
yeah.
and Balatro doing some runs in it.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, Geometry Survivor. Check it out.
Okay, cool. I would definitely check that out. Okay, I have now beaten Like Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Oh,
Ooh,
baby!
right in the nick of time too. You
Right in
know,
the nick of
right in
time.
the nick of time.
Did you beat it
right-
last night too?
Night before. I beat
Night
it
before.
on
That's still close,
Tuesday
yeah.
night. Yeah. I was like, gotta get it done today. It must be done. It must be done.
Must be done.
The ending's fucking sick. It's fucking awesome.
Is
It's
it?
just-
Because I've
yeah.
heard some mixed things, to be honest.
Well, okay. I mean, story wise, there's some things there's a couple things I have problems with story wise.
Okay.
But like what you're actually doing is awesome, and like the
Okay.
cutscenes are awesome, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple things. I think the story has some pacing issues just overall with this
It's
game.
been pretty slow for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the first half of the game is very tutorial heavy, very slow, and I think the last Like a Dragon game handled all that stuff way better than this game did. You know, of like actually in terms of getting going with the story and stuff like that. Yeah, I think the first half of the game certainly has some pacing issues, and there's some points where like Salone kind of spoiled some stuff for you, so I'm gonna, okay, there's Kiryu parts, right? Like, there's
I don't know a lot.
okay, you don't know a lot, but like,
I don't know almost anything really. if I'm
so
gonna be
like,
honest.
there's some points where like they switch back and forth between Kasuga and Kiryu, and
yeah,
there's
he said something about going to Japan.
yeah,
again.
so coming up, you will be playing as Kiryu in Japan. But there's some pacing issues there, I think, too, of when they cut off when you're playing as Kasuga and when you switch to Kiryu and vice versa.
Okay. So
I think
there's
there's a
no
few
manually doing
problems
it.
there.
The game is doing it for
The
you.
game does it for you, yeah. It's mostly by chapter. Oh, it's all by chapter, yeah. But so I think there's a few problems there. I think once the story gets going, though, it's awesome. There's a couple unresolved things by the end of it where I'm like, I wish you guys delved deeper into this aspect, or kind of wrapped
Like
up that
setting
part
up
of the story.
Like setting up 9.
Not maybe unresolved is the wrong word. Just things I wish they would have delved more into, like important story themes where I'm just like, you guys kind of brushed over that, and that was like a big topic. It's just there's issues there, but there's always issues with long form storytelling. I think,
yeah, for sure.
It's just hard to keep. I put over 70 hours into this game, and it's like it's hard to keep a story well paced and well written,
cohesive.
well thought out,
Yeah.
and cohesive, and all that stuff for 70 hours. I understand, but So yeah, but overall, man, I really enjoyed my time with it. I thought it was a great game. I love the combat changes. The whole moving around, the combat stuff. Kiryu's combat is so fucking
Oh,
good.
dude, he
It is
feels so
so good.
good.
It really does. It's
He's
just
the
like
best.
it
He
is
just runs around
as
punching
far as like
people.
turn-based combat goes. I know I'm very inexperienced with turn-based games. Just getting into them, but this is definitely my favorite thus far of the
Mhm.
ones I played. So
You
especially
like his
Kiryu's
like
combat.
stances and stuff?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
stances and all that stuff, and then just the specials you get, especially towards the end of this game, are so funny, man. Like they have some really good,
They incorporate
uh,
his heat
funny
moves
specials.
in it,
Yeah,
which sometimes I forget that he can do it, and
yeah,
it'll pop up, and I'm like, oh, he
yeah.
could heat, he could do do one of his heat moves, and he just like slams
There's
somebody.
one really cool gameplay aspect that I'll let you find for yourself that is very fun with Kiryu that you're really gonna enjoy. But so yeah, man, I beat it. Had a great time. Like I said, some story stuff I wish was better handled, but overall had a really good time with it. Don't like the story as much as I liked Like a Dragon, the first one.
Okay,
So
interesting.
yeah, did not
Do
end
you
up liking
think
it that
no
much, but
spoilers? Do you
yeah.
think that's because the lack of connection to Kiryu?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to
Okay.
do with that. I was talking about that a little bit last week, right? It's like, of course it is my fault that I didn't go back and play all these games. And I do actually think Kiryu gets the better story over Kazuga, which is
Mm,
yeah, I think
okay.
I think he has a better story in this game than Kazuga. And yeah, there probably is a lot of it to do with me not having played the past game. But
Yeah,
I
so I
think
wonder how I'll feel by the end.
yeah, I think people like you that played all of them are really going to feel satisfied, especially with Kiryu's side of the story by the end of it. Kazuga, I was left wanting a bit more by the end of
Okay.
it. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, like I said, man, had a great time with it. Absolutely loved it. Put over 70 hours into it, so great time, man. It was
So
hilarious sub stories. Love the combat. Uh, yeah. What were you gonna ask?
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Is there a chance this is your game of the year?
Yeah, of course. It's
Okay,
we don't know what this entire year
of
looks like.
course,
We're only in
of course.
February, so I'm not gonna like sit here and I'm not even thinking about game of the year yet. But yeah, 100%. I think there's chances
I mean,
my
your
game
game
of
of
the
the
year.
year didn't hit until October, so
Yeah,
last year.
yeah, that's a good point. And years before that was until like summer, and there were two like indie
Mhm.
games that didn't even existed before that.
Yeah,
So it's just who knows how this year is gonna entirely shake out. But yeah, I mean, certainly I think it could
you
be
think it
my
would
game
be
of the
up
year.
there at least?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be shocked if it wasn't at least in my top 10. So
Oh yeah, that means this would be a fantastic
yeah,
year.
I'd be
I
shocked if
would
it wasn't
assume.
in my top 10. I'd guess it's gonna be in my top 5 even. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see when we actually get there, and what's actually all coming out this year because we have no idea what like fall looks like and stuff. So.
Yeah, yeah. I had to ask. I gotta ask every time you beat it. We beat games. I
Yeah,
gotta ask.
yeah. So yeah, great game. Okay then I started. Well, I put more time into Penny's Big Breakaway.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. How's that going?
yeah, great. I still really like it. I didn't get to put as much time into it as I would have liked, just because Like a Dragon took forever. At the end there. I think I was at 55 hours last week, so I got to like 71. I think was what I finished at. So yeah, I just had to put some time into that, and so yeah, I didn't get to put as much time into Penny's Big Breakaway as I would have liked. But I'm in like World 2, or like the end of World 2 there, and still really
Do
enjoying
you know
that.
how many there are?
I think there's 5. So
Okay.
yeah, and it's like World 2-3, and I think there's 4
Very
in each
Mario.
world, yeah,
Yeah.
type thing. So yeah, and it's still really enjoying that. Once you like figure out the momentum of that game, it becomes really fun. And it's kind of weird because the way they have it structured kind of makes you stop sometimes, but it's at its most fun when you keep the momentum going. And so that it kind of contradicts itself that way sometimes, because like there'll be like a side objective and it's like, well, I got to stop here to do the side objective. And they're very good at having the side objectives make you keep going and keep that momentum going. You still have to like stop, and like the little NPC will talk to you real quick and read it. So there's a few things there. I think they'd knock a sequel to this out of the park. I think that would be like a very well done thing if they make a sequel to this. But yeah, still very much enjoying it. If you like 3D platformers at all, I would check this out for sure.
Oh, I have it downloaded actually.
Do you? Okay, yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely
So that's
check it
another one I
out.
have.
Give it a run.
Helldivers in this. I have like it's gonna be kind of somewhere. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I'm
Because like
definitely gonna
pretty
play
much
through.
after Final Fantasy, I'm gonna have a little bit of time there. Think
Yeah,
until what? Helldivers? I got like a or not Hellblade. Was that May? Is that when that comes out?
Hellblade. I mean, I don't, Stellar Blades in April, so I don't know if you're doing
Oh,
that. Yeah,
Stellar Blade. That's true too.
Stellar
So I guess
Blades
I
in
have
April.
that's the next big game then. Yeah.
And then what worries me is that March 22nd date, because I don't know if Dragon's Dogma 2 is something I'm going to be into.
Oh,
It's
and Peach
Peach.
game.
Peach comes out that same
I
day.
forgot. I got that to look. That's this month too.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I also want to put
Yeah.
time into the Battlefield collection when that comes out. That's like mid-March. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, video games
Oh
don't stop.
boy.
They don't stop. But
No.
I did play only an hour of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Just started it.
Okay.
So yeah, we got there. Opening is really cool. It's funny. It's what I said it would be after I beat the original Final Fantasy VII back in like December. Is the flashback scene when he first gets to I
Hmm.
forget the town name where they first get to, but that's where the DLC ends of them walking to that town. The DLC of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade,
Yeah.
and then right after that would be the flashback scene, and that's what they open with. So
They
it's
go to
a
Niflheim. Yeah.
yeah, and
All that stuff.
that's where Rebirth opens, and yeah, very cool this far. I'm just getting started, so I don't really have too much to say about it, but definitely really like the opening. Great idea.
Okay. Well, since you don't have too much to say, I have one question then.
Yeah.
And I know that where we both lean on this. Did you try the comparison? I've been hearing a lot about this, the comparison between quality mode and performance mode for this game.
Yeah, I did flip back and forth a couple times. I don't know, cause I didn't. You could definitely see the difference when you switch to quality, but it's just
Hmm.
you losing that 60 frames.
It's too much.
It,
I'm not doing it.
things just look worse to me now when they're not 60 frames too.
Yeah.
So it's just almost like I don't. It just didn't seem worth it, and it's like I don't know. I was in quality mode. I know a lot of people really complain when you get close up to NPCs, they look pretty bad in quality mode. And I think that's what most people
Uh,
have gripes with. And I mean, certainly NPCs just kind of look pretty bad just in general. Not like Cloud and people in your party and stuff, but like just random NPCs look
yeah.
walking around. They look pretty bad, but it's like I wasn't. I don't want to say I wasn't blown away graphically because there's a part where like the camera pans out and the credits start going. Not credits, but it's like the director name pops up as you're like walking through this beautiful open field as Cloud and Sephiroth's there and stuff too because it's the flashback scene. And like that like graphically kind of blew me away because that just like looked incredible. So yeah, I don't want to say like the game. It doesn't look bad by any means. I don't think I kind of think it's one of those where people are kind of blowing things out of. They're blowing things up unnecessarily, really,
Yeah.
with like how bad graphics this game
On the
looks.
performance mode.
It's not
Yeah.
like the best looking game graphically I've ever seen, but it looks great. So I don't
Okay.
know. Not
I'm
something
only gonna play
I'm too.
performance.
Yeah, if you just
I'm
keep it
not
at
playing
60.
in quality mode. Get out. What
Nah,
quality of
I'm not.
what?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not playing at 30 frames. We're not doing this.
No,
We're
we're
not
not
going
doing it.
back here. So yeah, just started it. Can't wait to play more.
Awesome. Can't wait. How was Tifa? Did you get to see? Did you get to see her
Saw
yet?
Tifa. She's doing good.
Yeah.
She's doing
Good.
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 Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad. She's the only one that needs to be doing good. I don't care about
There's a
the
point in
rest
the flashback where Cloud infiltrates her room, her bedroom in like her old house.
of them. What?
Yeah, and like it's funny because there's like voiceovers of because like Cloud's telling the story of what happened in the past. So
Oh, okay.
you like hear Barrett or Aerith talking at some points and like asking questions about like wait that happened
Oh
there.
no.
There's a point where she was like, Cloud, you went into my bedroom.
Oh, no, you should have said
Yeah.
that.
I was just imagining Cloud's like, yeah, open your underwear drawer then after
Oh,
that.
okay, okay, Cloud. We don't need
And
every
sniffed
detail.
your toilet seat, Tifa.
Oh my god. Did you do that?
Cloud's a fucking freak. Okay, not me. It's Cloud. Okay,
Okay, it's Cloud.
Cloud. Okay.
I'm just
uh,
controlling him.
all right. So I will certainly talk more about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth
Yeah.
after next week.
Can't wait to start it. It's definitely gonna be a little bit, but I want to beat like a dragon first. But I'm getting there.
You only got 40 hours left, Daniel. So
Oh my god.
I'm sure you
Don't
could wrap
say
that up today if you wanted to.
Don't say that.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for your Nerd Gods podcast, episode 212. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/Nerdic Gods. You can also find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Well, sorry that I was laid off. I guess you go see me in the cardboard box downtown.
I'll join you because I fired myself halfway through the show.
Oof.
So
Well, you got to get your own box.
we can't share.
Mine's not big enough. It's not big enough for me.
Okay, we'll figure something out. All right, see you next week, people. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.